Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Late Night Serial Podcast. This is episode 12. And I'll be honest, Plunger, before we start today's one, I was thinking, it feels like 10 minutes since we did the Christmas one. It's like we're in the middle of February already.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I was looking at the date today. And I was like, I know it's February, but it's the 7th already.
I can't believe, well, I say the middle of February, yeah, it's kind of start of February, but it does feel like we've just done the Christmas episode. And we were like, oh, I can't believe it. We got to the end of the year and all this. And then we've just like, we were already in a bunch of episodes already.
I can't remember January now.
No.
January happened, apparently.
That'll never come back. We'll never get that back. But how have you been lately in the last couple of weeks? What have you been up to in life?
Life. Oh God.
Put you on the spot now.
Oh yeah. Oh blimey.
Grab your cereal. Tell me about it.
Cereal. Well, it's not a new one, unfortunately.
Go on.
I've got that again. I'm actually really enjoying this one. Basically, Lucky Charms rip-off.
I've just noticed you've ripped the top as well. You're just so eager to get at it. Like, I need to get at the floor.
I don't know what happened. I think I tried to do it and I was like, oh, come on. I think I tried to rush it to be ready for a podcast.
I've got shreddies, by the way, and they're just like soggy, so I need to jump at them right
now. Oh, yeah. Well, the other one I had, the other cereal one I had, like the Fruit Loops. I took when you want to try it to make sure it still tastes okay. It was a bit, they're a bit, not off, what do you call it? They feel like stale. And I was like, So I was like, no, I'm not gonna. And I've had to do a thing again. I brought up milk separately because Danny is not happy with me because I always nick the milk.
Every time you do that, I feel like it's posh. It's like cognac.
It does look good. I'm having posh cereal. I'm having deconstructed cereal.
We found some celebrations, a tub of celebrations left over from Christmas. And I think they've gone off. Oh, you haven't got a spoon?
Well, I've got a handle, so I could just like...
Go on, do it.
It's kind of designed like that.
This is the Steptones son way of doing it.
Oh, dear.
I can imagine the comments now. Everyone in the comments is going crazy about this now. I can't believe he didn't bring a spoon.
It's always some controversial thing with the cereal, isn't it?
Yeah, always. Mine has just turned to mush, to be honest. It's literally looks like
probably drink yours then.
You know when Weetabix does that? And it's like I have to be quick with Weetabix. You have to be quick, don't you? To get at it before it like turned into just a mess.
I was like that with Frosties when I was younger. I would start to eat it, and then I don't know if I'd be watching something, and then I'll go to parents have a go at me because I end up chucking half it away because it'd just be a big load of mush.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't eat the rest of it. It's all soggy. And I went, well, eat it quicker then.
Yeah, it's like almost like you're telling them, I can't eat that. Look at the state of it. It's like as if it's like their fault or something. Like it's your fault because you've left it too long. The things we tell, the lies we tell ourselves. I was just saying, because I've been a couple of weeks, isn't it? It's been a couple of weeks, and I was just thinking of what you've been up to because I've been putting I've been doing crazy. I'm going crazy on YouTube, putting loads of videos out and stuff, and I've been going out and doing some retro hunting and all that. I don't know.
Talking to the camera as well,
talking to the camera like this, but outside.
I was nervous for you.
It is scary though, doing that. It is really scary. Like I was saying this on the stream the other day. It's like it puts a lot of the things that we want to do in life, we're scared of doing, and you've just got to put yourself on the other side of it.
Well, I kind of bring myself up because I've got the little camera. I think, right, I'll do that. I was going to do that at a toy fair, and I'd say, we're going to, the NEC toy fair and all that lot, and I was going to talk along while I was waiting in the queue. I was in the queue. I took a little video around the queue, and put it away.
It's one of those things, isn't it? But you got footage you could talk over, like I did that with a lot of mine.
Oh yeah. I actually like that idea because, like, when you're in a shop and then you're trying to hear people trying to talk about how the shop is, it's a bit awkward because they're not trying to talk too loudly, but they don't, and
that's it. You don't want to interfere and stuff. But and also if it's like a shop, because I went to like normal shops as well. I went to like B&M and all that, and I was like, I'm not asking for permission in there, so I'm just gonna just get some footage. You know what I mean?
You were saying about that, and I was like, the small shops, yes, ask permission. Big shops, I'm not being funny. They're going to probably say no straight away.
There's no way they're going to go,
sorry.
Oh yeah, cool. Go behind the scenes as well. Do you want to look on the till? You know what I mean? It's not that's going to happen, is it? You know what I mean?
Take a tenner. Go on, treat yourself.
Or they're going to go, all right, well, I'll ring head office.
Come back in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, Mr. B&M said, he's going to call you. There's no way, just do it and leave. There's that saying, isn't it? Ask for what is it? It's better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission.
Well, I got told off at the toy fair by one seller. I
Ooh.
was filming the table. I was just panning over with the Osmo, and I was just filming over it. And this guy said, "Excuse me, excuse me." I was like, "All right, yeah, you are, mate." And he went, "Don't film there still, please."
Oof.
I was like, It's a very public place with lots of people
Yeah.
filming."
I don't
And I
know
was
what
like,
the
"Okay, mate."
etiquette is in places like that, or like because in shop
Yeah,
I'll go and ask for permission. But
yeah.
if you're in like a toy fair or a games fair, and everyone's
Well,
filming, like, do you have to
yeah,
ask
because it's
permission for each
in
stall?
my view, it's a public place
Yeah.
because when you're in a shop, like whatever their rules are goes because
Mhm.
you're in their private property. But
Mhm.
when you're in like an exhibition hall type thing, it's like anyone's game,
I'd
isn't
love
it?
to
Really?
get some feedback from other people who do it,
Hmm,
because it's because I'm heading out there a lot more, and I want
yeah,
to know if that I'm going to run into that a lot more. I mean, you're gonna know from experience, isn't it? We're gonna know
yeah.
more about this as we both do it.
I
Um,
just get very confused. If you're going in a shop and you're saying nice things about it, you go, "Oh, look what's in here." It's promo for the shop.
yeah,
Then surely, why wouldn't you want
that's
that?
what I ran into, and a
I
little
can't
bit
get
of me
that.
was thinking, you want to say that, but then you think, well, they'll say, "Oh, who are you anyway?" Because you got a little YouTube channel, like you're a shop, a big shop or whatever.
Hmm.
But it is. The people I spoke to when I went for that video, there were a couple of people saying, "Yo, great, it helps us out. It puts us out on the map if you put something else about us." And I was
Well,
like,
so
"Oh,
I thought,
cool."
yeah, like that shop you went to, that Empire
Empire
something.
Exchange, yeah,
That's it. I've never even heard of it. I've not been to Liverpool, so seeing that shop, I was like, wow, I want to go there. That
yeah.
I only know of it because you've said about it. And I
You would
watch a
love
lot
it.
of videos of people traveling the UK to game shops and places like that, but no one's ever spoken about that one.
It's weird because like I'd still want to film at games fairs, but I find it way more interesting for me personally now to go to the likes of toy places or places which do a bit of everything. Because
Yeah,
at some point when I see game videos, and I've been watching a lot of lately because I want to kind of get some ideas of what to do. Once I just see like loads of boxes that all look very similar, it kind of gets a bit like, oh, okay, it's a
yeah,
bit samey, not boring, but like samey.
no,
And that's for someone who's like
yeah,
a huge retro gaming fan. I kind of want to see a bit of variety. And when you're seeing like
yeah.
toys and maybe like videos and VHS and all that stuff, it kind of I don't know gives you a bit of variety.
Well, they normally the shop's a bit more done with their displays and focus points. When you go to game toy fairs, you've got all the cases, all the carrying cases, just all games lined
It's
up.
just
And
games,
even
yeah,
when you're looking yourself at games, you kind of like you're looking at them and you get
yeah.
overwhelmed by looking at them all. It's like PS2. I can never look at them at an expo
Oh
because
God,
I try to, and then you kind of focus just goes off. And
it becomes a bit of a blur because of all like the black
yeah,
labels
yeah,
and yeah. And I still want to film at those places, but there's a part of me
mm,
which thinks, oh God,
yeah,
like how can I make it more like fun for myself as well as anyone else watching? Maybe because for me, I just want to collect all a lot of the early stuff, like early Sega and Nintendo stuff mainly. So
yeah,
that's that stuff. Suppose because that's closer to toys to me. When I think of that stuff, I think of early Nintendo,
yeah.
early Sega. It's close to the toys, so that kind of makes sense why
Well,
I
because
want to
that
kind of
went hand in
gravitate
hand,
towards it.
really, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you weren't playing games and you were out or around with friends, and like yeah, you had your toy set up. Maybe you had the toy set up around,
Oh yeah.
like well, I did when I had my little TV. I remember
Yeah.
having all little because of obviously
Your
having
figures and
CRTs back in the day. You had an extra shelf
oh
on top of
yeah,
your TV,
something
so
we
I used to
miss,
put
yeah.
stuff across the top of it.
Yeah, you'd have your toys out as well as
Yeah.
playing your Sega or your Nintendo or whatever back in the
Hmm.
day. God, yeah, you missed that. But I still want to film at those places. I
Yeah.
just think I find it vastly more interesting to go to like toy fairs or places just with a bit of variety, like that Empire Exchange. You could just dig into all of those areas, like all the videos and books,
I'd be in there
comics,
for
and
ages. Danny would kill
it's
me. I'd be in there for hours.
yeah, it's
Like,
places
looking
like
at
that are
all.
so good. I need to visit more places, and
Yeah.
and it's something like we'll definitely talk about more in the future. But anyway,
Mm,
enough of that.
yes,
What have you
sorry,
been
yeah.
playing over the last couple of weeks?
Well,
Well, of course, you've often been, you've probably moved on from like Mega Man and Tomb Raider and stuff like that. So, what have you been playing?
well, kind of. Well, yeah, I have actually. I've got a new game on the agenda. Well, Tomb Raider's probably is right because you mentioned you want to do Tomb
Yeah,
Raider at some
definitely.
point.
I'm gonna
I
play a
will
new
warn you now, though.
remastered version though.
Oh, if that can save wherever you want, do it. If it
Yeah.
doesn't, you won't get anywhere because you have checkpoint crystals to get, and they're not everywhere. So
Mm,
you got the gamble risk of traveling really far into the game, saving that save point until you got some keys or whatever you need to
yeah.
get, then come back for it. But if you die in that time, you lose all that progress.
Mm.
But then if you save early and you get more stuff, again, you can't save again for a while
I don't
till
know
you
how the
complete the
saving
level.
works on the modern versions. Maybe
I
they
don't know. I've not
yeah.
played the new
I do
ones. I
want to pick
know
up
other people
these
have.
because I'm obsessed with the Switch. I honestly think it's like it's going close to one of my favorite consoles of all time. The more I use it, and I really want to get that Tomb Raider one, remastered 1, 2, and 3.
Well, they're bringing out 4, 5, and
Yeah,
6 as
it's
well
coming out
now.
this year, isn't
So
it?
yeah,
So I want if anyone sees a deal on the first one, let me know because I really want to pick that up and play that this year. Hopefully on the stream, the first one at least.
if
And
you can save whatever you want, that'd be a
yeah,
big deal because
it's
the problem with that game, the
it's put me
saving's
off
not
watching
easy.
you play the original one. And I know it's not like you playing it on the PlayStation. You play it as a Saturn, is it?
I'm playing it on the Saturn, but
Yeah,
I did play it on the PlayStation back in the day.
yeah,
I just played it on the Saturn because, well, I've got it and I've never really played it. And I thought
yeah,
that's where it actually started from. And I kind of wish I started on PlayStation now.
yeah,
But, it's a reason why PlayStation version is more spoken about.
yeah.
But yeah, I did a little bit of that. But the problem was because I wasn't on the previous week, because I watched an episode of Gladiators. Because I wasn't on the previous Tuesday,
Oh,
everyone's
it's gonna
like,
take
"Well, you
forever.
owe us a double episode."
Double episode, yeah, yeah, double ep.
And it lasts about an hour because I pause it, we talk about it and have a laugh. So I started at 11, I finished about 2.
Jeez.
So I had no time to play the game. And so so I played about 10 minutes after not playing it for months because of January stuff and all that, and Christmas.
Yeah.
That I've not touched it. And also I couldn't go anywhere to save, so I literally made 0 progress on
Oh
that.
no.
So that was a bit of
massive as well.
yeah. I got back to Mega Man Legends. I made some progress on that after
Yeah.
being a bit scared because when you ain't played it for like literally a month, I was like, "Oh, what am I doing? Where am I going?" All that sort of stuff. But luckily, I left it at a point where I can continue.
Oh, that's good.
But the highlight really this week, which I started on Thursday,
Yeah.
I started playing Onimusha. Actually, which
Yeah,
is
I want to talk about that because I put a comment in talking about it and you missed my comment. Can't believe
oh,
it. Can't believe it. I was like, I went off in a huff. I can't believe.
maybe I was saving to answer it on the podcast. Could you
Well,
remind me again, just to
it
make
was
sure
just a
I've got the
comment of
right
how
question?
big the actual character is. It's huge on the screen. It's a gorgeous looking game for PS2.
Oh, and I kept thinking because I've not really played it. I know they remastered it on PS4 and things like that. I've never really played it before, and I put it on, and it honestly looks absolutely spectacular on the
What's it
PlayStation
called, by
2.
the way? Because I was thinking, is this like a sequel? But it's called Onimusha
No, that's
Warlords.
the weird thing.
Something.
Everyone just calls it Onimusha, but the headline of it is Onimusha
Warlords.
Warlords.
Oh,
But
yeah.
this is actually the first game.
Yeah, yeah.
But I never think of the Warlords part. You can't
No, I
even
don't. I think you were the one. Oh, no.
cut.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't even really see. You can't even really see it.
No.
It's just about there.
You've got
but
that classic little dent that was owned so many PlayStation games.
I
Where
don't
did they
know,
come
yeah.
from?
I don't know. I don't know what's
The
it.
dent
It's only meant to be
fairies
the
visit
manual.
you overnight. Little PlayStation 2 dent fairies. You just go and stand on them. And you're like, where did that come from? The dent fairy.
It's probably like put it on the floor, step back, oh, and then like
Exactly,
quickly leaped
yeah.
up, and it was too late. But yeah, but honestly, this is like because people refer to this like Resident Evil, and I'm
Yeah.
like, is it? But it actually has the tank controls like Resident Evil,
Yeah.
and but it's hack and slash as well. And honestly, I am in love with it.
Is it
I
kind of
think it's
casual, do you
absolutely
think? Like
brilliant.
casual play style? Or is it like
Yeah, you pick up pretty quick on it. You can't just if you see an enemy like in Devil May Cry, you'll go up to and you might just bat and bush, for until they're dead.
bat and bush?
Some-
What did you say? Bat and bush? Because that's the way. That's the best.
Someone
I
said
might
that
even
to me,
call.
yeah.
I'm writing
Bat,
that down.
bat, oh.
All right.
Yeah, because someone said that to me last night when I said that. I've always said it like that.
Bat
But
and bush.
keep hitting that same button
Yeah.
repeatedly. There we go. You can do it with some simple enemies, but later enemies you can't. Because if you go to do that, they get hitting as well. So you kind of got to pace your fights out a bit. You haven't got
cool.
to keep on blocking, then attack. You kind of learn when
How many characters can you have on the screen? Because before the main character's massive on the screen, it's huge. It takes up a lot of the screen real estate.
Well, at one point I went round a corner and I heard like a zombie swordsman, and you could hear him groan. And I walked around a corner, I saw one, I went, oh, there's only one there. And I turned behind me and there was like 6 behind me. I was like, oh,
Wow.
oh, blimey.
Wow.
So luckily powerful enough. But honestly, he's got really good upgrade system. You upgrade different types of swords. One of them actually looks like, oh god, I forgot the name of it now. The He-Man sword. Whatever. Oh, I should... The power sword, yeah. The power sword, that's the one, yeah. Yeah. I can't remember.
It's all right.
The sword of...
You want to say Sword of Omens? You're dying to say Sword
Yeah,
of Omens? I can hear you.
I can say
That's
that.
fine.
Oh, that's
So,
it. That's the one.
but
That's
I thought, you know, I think we've thought there's a conversation before. I thought it was like Dynasty Warriors, all stuff like that. Because I think I always got it mixed up with that in the past.
I think there is a Dynasty Warriors type version of it. I think.
Oh, was that
I could be
why?
wrong.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
it
that's
is
what
that
it is.
it does look like it because it's got that
But
that
it's
sort of time
supernatural
period.
then. It's like kind of like supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of in it like the sort of like the Crow sort of story where you're trying to save somebody and then you get hit by this big like demons and then I assume you die. It doesn't really say, but these like fire gods type thing around you say, oh, here, have this gauntlet and then have all these powers and you
It's kind
can
of God
suck
of
up
War, isn't it? A
souls.
little bit God of War-ish as well. Yeah, that kind of feel. You kind of
Yeah.
level up like that with your weapons.
Oh, it's so addictive because you can farm it. So you can go out of the level, come back or that section, go back into it again and take out more and build up the... So every time you kill an enemy, you get a number of orbs and like souls. You suck them up with the old power glove, I called it. And then you get so much, and then you go into the save part and then you can do enhancements and you can either enhance some magic where when you use like lightning or fire or whatever, that's the only ones I've got at the moment.
Yeah.
You can either enhance that or you can enhance how powerful your sword is, but you can spend ages if you want to really level up.
Yeah.
But honestly, yeah, it plays really well. It's got the static camera, same as Resident Evil. It's got the tank controls. But honestly, it's really satisfying to play so far.
I don't think I had a problem with tank controls as much as I thought I would, like going back to like Resident Evil, and I was totally fine. As soon as you start playing for about a minute, you're totally fine with it, aren't you?
Yeah, because it fits with the style of the way you're playing with the camera angles. I think we've been so drilled into our heads how we play games now with the analog stick, and every direction you go in, it automatically compensates for the direction you're going in. Which I found games where they've had that option in, and you keep pressing up, and all of a sudden it turn and then start walking backwards because the camera angle's changed. This way, you know, you're always going to go forward no matter where the camera is, and I think that works quite well.
Better for you, yeah. Are these games available like on Steam as well, or if you just got to go back to PS2? I'm sure I've seen them around on Steam digitally. Just thinking
I know that it got a remaster on the PS4, and they're actually Onimusha 2 is getting a remaster soon as well.
Oh, I thought it was a brand new Onimusha game. Is a remaster? Is it?
No, it's a remaster, the second one, which I haven't.
That makes sense.
But it's quite interesting because these must have been really big deal because I didn't know this because someone told us on stream. The guy on the front cover is not just a character; he's actually a famous like Japanese actor.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know who it was, but he's actually, and he voiced the game as well.
Wow.
And then later ones, you've got in the third one, you might be able to see it.
Yeah.
You got the guy from like,
Jean Reno.
Yeah.
His name's on there as well. Oh,
yeah,
God, he's in it as well. Wow.
Yeah. So it's they had some big budgets on it, and it feels like a very polished game. Yeah, I'll recommend it if you like the way Resident Evil plays.
Yeah, I think it's, you know what, I'm in this sense this year where I'm not that bothered about playing on like original hardware as much as it used to be, because I always think, well, you know, I've got a Switch, I want to use it more, and I end up playing more games on stream than I do outside the stream, which I'm trying to I'm trying to do more. But this year it's like, I just want to play anything that's on my Switch that I'm not playing. I want to get round to playing. But you know, if those games start being available like digitally, I mean,
he's on the Switch.
Is it on the Switch? There you go.
Yeah, someone told me now. I haven't actually checked it, but they said it was on the Switch.
So you did probably just downloads, or did you actually bring a physical
well,
version?
it looks like when we looked it up, it's digital for the Western side of things, America and us. But in Japan, they got a physical.
Of course. Like a nice physical
But
version.
if you bought the physical, it will be in English anyway. You just have to buy the Japanese version.
Just it's
Like,
good.
so you can play it all in English.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the main thing I play. I only started it this Thursday, so I put about 4 hours into it so far, and I'm really enjoying it. The only gutting thing is, I would love to have it with the Japanese audio and English subtitles to really feel that Japanese feel.
Get in the
But
sense of it.
instead, it's fully English voice, which is good, but some of the voices don't really match with how they look.
I always
But
find,
other than
I
that,
always
though,
find with like even with TV shows and films when they have like an English dub, like
yeah.
I mean you might find one that's kind of all right, but I think in the majority it always feels weird. It always
Yeah,
feels
it kind of
like
takes you out the moment,
yeah,
doesn't it? I feel.
it never mixes in well, and it always feels a bit cheesy or cringy or something. And maybe it's just me.
Yeah, there's been a couple of lines like that in this one,
Oh god,
and also they didn't change the game for when someone's speaking. Obviously, in original when it's originally in Japanese,
yeah,
they're still speaking. You know, like the old films where
yeah,
they're sort of saying, "How are you?"
yeah.
It was like that basically.
I mean, I've got nothing against if people want to do it with dubbed, and they're totally fine. It's just it's just a
Yeah,
preference, isn't it? But I remember we started watching Squid Game 2 and accidentally had the dub on first because I think it defaulted to that.
yeah, that's by default.
And
Yeah,
and we were like, oh, well, it was horrible. It was just like, hey, what are you doing down
it's
there?
like it's like watching an anime, wouldn't
It's
it?
like that
Yeah.
voice.
So many people
Hey,
would take the mickey out of it, haven't
I don't
they?
want to go back to the games. Don't
Yeah,
drag me
yeah,
back. I was like, oh no, we're not doing this.
yeah.
It's just
That's
really
only
weird.
fair.
I don't like it. But other people might have a problem with it. But talking about cameras and whether you like them or not, what a segue. I only want to talk about one game this time round.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Super Mario 64. I had to get it out off my chest, right? How much have you played of that game?
I started playing on stream a while ago. I got quite far. I managed to get all the different hats or the
Oh
abilities.
the Switch things, yeah.
Because I was doing a bit for ages and realised I couldn't get it unless I had an ability, which it doesn't tell you that.
Yeah,
And I didn't know it for ages.
yeah.
I did quite a bit, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know. Someone switched a light on, and I just went, "What's over there?" And I haven't been back to it since. But I want to, but I did get a little bit stuck, and I did get quite frustrated. And then I kind of went, "Oh, I'll play it another day," and I kind of never went back. I need
I
to though.
I can't believe how hard it is. Like
Yeah,
it's so hard. I honestly, I thought, right, oh, I'll get past the camera issues, and then it'll be like,
yeah.
all right, I'll get used to it. No, because obviously, the more you go in, go on and get more stars, the harder the stars become. And the level,
Oh yeah,
design's great,
yeah.
but it's like the camera is, and I don't care what everyone says. Oh, it's not me with the camera. I don't know how to use it. Whatever. I've been playing it for hours and hours and hours, and like there's so many times where I'll jump across something, and then you don't see where Mario's landing, and you just see a tree, and you're like, what am I supposed to do there? And you're supposed to like just switch to the camera mid-air or something. Like, what are you supposed to do there? Do you know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
like when you've got to walk across a platform and jump to the other side, but you can't get the view
No.
to show where you're jumping to. So you kind of just go, "Oh, I guess
And
I'm going."
I'm
Yeah,
cycling through all the cameras. I'm like,
yeah,
but yeah, the main issue is like when I'm jumping across something and the camera automatically turns. And you're like, no, I don't want to do
yeah.
that. And you're like,
Mm.
you want it to kind of stay straight, and it's just it doesn't have a good kind of way of doing it, and it's been frustrating as hell. That said, I started this thinking I'm only gonna do one stream of it for a fun one, and it was gonna be
Yeah.
like for my because I was doing a front page stream Twitch thing, and I thought I've done quite a few of the streams now. And I thought I'll just do a one for special and I go off it. And I'll be honest, as soon as I stopped that, I was like, I can't wait to get back.
Yeah.
It
I
was
could get one more star, maybe a few more.
that's it.
I saw where one was, and because you revisit the levels and you see that little icon
I
and go,
think what's helped is because I've played Galaxy and Odyssey afterwards, and I
yeah,
know from them, the whole
yeah.
idea. I think what was it, an Odyssey? You collect moons or something. I can't remember. Or was it stars again?
Odyssey, it's the moon
Yes,
crests,
there you
and
go.
then in Galaxy, it was
Maybe it's stars again.
was it stars? No,
I can't remember. One of those, isn't it?
I'll complete them. I can't remember, but yeah.
But
It's still
because of that
yeah,
mentality I got from that loop of like, oh, you go back in, you get more stars, get whatever you got to collect. It kind of made me realize, oh, this is what the loop is in Mario 64, which I didn't really understand originally because I played it for a bit, then went off, I hate this. This is not Mario World because I was 2D man.
well, by the end of the day, in them games, it's from A to B.
Yeah,
In this one, it's A to B, then back to A
yeah.
to find C. in
I
A
do
onto
like
B, and
the fact that when you get one of the stars, the level might change next time you go in.
yes, yeah, actually,
That's
yeah, I
good
thought that's
design.
quite
That
clever.
it's good design. That, and then like obviously some of the more stars you get, some of them will be harder. So it's like a good way to kind of have a difficulty setting. Like
Yeah.
my Nintendo do a really good job of that. So you can
Mm.
just bypass it and go on to the next level if you want. But
And I heard that the underwater levels were your favourite. I heard you were quite passionate about them ones.
hate them. I hate them so much. Again, it's just one of those things. I kept getting eaten by Bertha all the time. I just jumped right in the
Mm.
water, and then Bertha would swallow me up. Or I'm about to swim out, and Bertha would come out of nowhere and just swallow me. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many moments like that. Or the ice level. No one likes ice levels anyway.
Oh,
No
yeah.
one. No one.
No.
Like, you can imagine a boardroom, and they go, right, what we need is an ice level.
Mm.
Why? Why is no one person
Oh,
saying
the ones
why?
that drove me mental was lava ones where he's running around. Like,
Oh,
Mario, just stand still. I
yeah.
know you're on fire, but
Yeah,
come on, mate.
exactly. Or you
You
just
know.
because he's so slippy, and I get it. Like
Yes.
people love this
No, he
game,
is.
and it's so slippy that like you jump onto another platform and you just slightly nudge it, and he'll just run off. And you're like,
Mm.
no, don't run off. And then he's dead because he's jumped in the lava like 3 times and he can't get back on.
Yeah, yeah.
But that like I started this thinking I hated it when it first came out. I only played it for a little, probably the first stage. And I was like, I felt barren to me because I was so used to like glorious 2D where everything looked beautiful, every screenshot was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then when you go to the 3D game, I was like, this doesn't look or feel as good as one of those games. This feels like there's nothing here. So I still have that in my mind a little bit, and some of the levels feel a bit like, oh, this is like early 3D, where you go,
Yeah, it is. It was. Well, that's why the whole controller's designed the way it
yeah,
is. That was designed around Mario.
yeah.
The whole thing. They didn't think about anything else. That's why it was designed that way.
It's a damn shame though, because I'm playing the 3D All Stars version,
Yes.
and all they've done is upscale it. They've done no
Yeah.
work to the camera or anything like
No.
that. I
No, they've
mean,
done no change whatsoever. The
it
same with all
looks
the three
nicer.
games.
I guess
Yeah.
it looks sharper. I guess that's all you can
Yeah.
say. But I literally only got that for Mario Galaxy, to have a hard copy of Mario Galaxy, and now I'm like, oh god, I might do this, and I might do Sunshine at some point in the year, and I've got that because
yeah.
I've never done that either because I never liked that. Only because I got to like quite early on, I got stuck. It's a 3D Mario games. It's weird because I talk about this, and people will be listening or watching and thinking I don't like Nintendo. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, but I love early Nintendo,
Yeah.
8 and 16-bit. As soon as you went 3D, it wasn't my thing, and
Well,
but until
because
now,
because it starts making you like having to explore, but then you could wander off in one direction,
yeah,
and it could be nowhere near where you need to be for the next objective, the next star or whatever. And you feel like, am I wasting time here? Because you're not getting on with what you want to
no,
do. Because
yeah,
it normally is, left to right or right to left or whatever, wherever you're going. With those games, it's like, well, you got to venture to find areas. And to be honest, with Mario Sunshine, I felt the same way with that one. I had to go somewhere and I could not go for ages. And you get bored because you kind of
yeah.
think, oh, I don't know where I'm
I
going
can't do
now.
it. I can't progress. Yeah.
You know?
I'll say there's like so many awesome like design choices in this game and loads of little fun secrets in the castle. I think the castle's amazing, but it's
Yeah.
mad because I probably spent more time in the when you unlock it in Odyssey. You kind of see it there and remember like, oh, there's the
Oh, yeah.
castle. Yeah, and I probably saw it more in that than because I never went back to 64. But now seeing it
Yeah.
properly is like I've spent so much time in it. I still don't think I'll ever be that because people are amazing at this game, like for speed running and things like that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
and the way they jump around, I don't think I could ever do that because oh my god, there's like this level. I keep going back to this ice levels in my head. It's haunting me, and I was just like, this is what I'm complaining about today, where you just have to go up this little ridge, and
Yeah.
if you go up a little on the side of it, you'll slide down and slide all the way back down. Or there's this bit where these like little ice folds are coming at you, and you got to jump over them to jump over. And I was having a nightmare because I'd get close, and the camera would get dead close. And I was like, why is it doing this?
Yeah, it's only moves. You go, why are you moving? Stay there.
I actually did a rage quit. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh, I can't believe it.
I think I heard you. I heard the controller like hit
Slam.
something at one point.
I haven't done that in a long time. I had a Mario game as well. I bloody love Mario, but it won't beat me. I'm going to continue it. I'm at like what 54 stars. I think I need 70 to get to the last bounds of battle. But I feel like if I get to 70 and do it, I'm going to keep that save and then I have it like when I'm going to come back and try and do more stars. And
Yeah, it's worth it because you can just revisit those.
Yeah, I'm hoping you can save it beforehand. Yeah.
Well, I'd say even though you said you're getting frustrated with it, but you want to go back to it, that proves that you are enjoying it, and you want to go back to it because you've still got that drive for it. But it is that frustration.
Yeah. Well, it's made me realise because I initially did this as well because I wanted to do at some point a top my favorite Mario games and things, and I thought, well, I was writing them all down and for a YouTube video, and then I realised I can't put Mario 64 on there or Super Mario Land 2 because I've never played them and I've never liked the look of them. And
Yeah,
then I loved Mario Land 2. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. It's a top tier game, and I was thinking 64 is just sitting there. I was like, people are going to complain if I don't put that on my list and go, oh, I don't like it. It's like I've got
yeah,
to play it. So I thought I'd do one stream to say, oh, I've played it, and I give it a go. I didn't like it, and I just realised I do like it as much as I'm like
yeah,
it's like it's a bit janky, but it's so satisfying when you actually do get to that star that you've been trying to get to, and it
yeah.
feels like I don't know, it feels like a lost Mario game that I'm now only getting around to really enjoying.
And the music as well.
Oh, the
You
music's
appreciate the
incredible.
music more as well. I think that's how I feel.
I want to talk
Anyway.
about the music in a bit, like actually
Mm.
not just the music in that, but the music in general. So that made me think, and I wrote down this before. What other games have I missed that, like like Tomb Raider,
Mm.
that I might have missed because I didn't really stick to like that era because I played a lot of modern stuff because like obviously it's great like that Odyssey and all
Yeah.
that, but that era like Tomb Raider, I wrote down Banjo Kazooie. Obviously, I'm going to do Resident Evil 2 and Mario Sunshine. What else is there in that time where I think, oh, I might have missed, like I should play it, which is like people say you're absolutely brilliant all the time. Can you think of anything? If
Uh,
you're watching this on YouTube, please put in the
mm.
comments or on Spotify.
Yeah, please, because I would definitely say the Crash Bandicoot games.
Oh God, yeah,
Honestly, you will love those.
yeah,
If you only want to play one of them, you could always say you want to play the first, but
yeah,
if you want to play it, I would. If you want to start from the second, because it don't matter about where you play them,
yeah.
really. But second has some additional moves in,
Can you get
and
like
I.
a? Can you
Mm.
get sorry? Can you get like a collection of those games now? Because I just love. Can you get them on Switch?
Yep, you can, and I've got it
Oh,
as well. It's called the Inside
insane! Oh, I
no,
do remember
Insane
that.
Trilogy.
Is that like a remastered version of it? Is it?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Nice.
it's
Okay.
totally redone.
Yeah.
The only problem with that is the first game, it has slightly different jumping mechanics that makes it quite difficult and
Mm,
frustrating. Number 2 and 3 are perfect, but
yeah.
the way it floats in the first game on PlayStation plays better than the
Okay.
remaster.
Okay.
So if you do play them, start from number 2. Don't start from the first one. 'Cause
I'm
you
gonna
love
try
it,
and
right?
grab that on again. I'm gonna keep an eye on that, see if it goes cheap on Switch. Oh, you love
Yeah.
Croc, don't you? I've just
Yeah,
realised.
it
What do you think
it
of Croc?
plays like it's got Resident Evil style tank controls.
Has it? I think you might have said that
Yeah.
before. That's weird. Oh yeah, because we
Yeah,
talked
but
about
if
that
you
for the
use
new
the analog
version.
stick, you can go free roaming, but he
Yeah.
kind of runs around. Again, it's like Mario 64. It's like an early
Yeah.
3D game, so you will enjoy it. But again, camera angles
I
will
think the
get a
new
little bit
version
frustrating.
is they're gonna kind of update that, aren't they? I think they're updating the
They've totally changed
controls.
the
Yeah,
controls to the new one.
we've
Yeah.
looked at that, so that might be worth looking for a new one. What else is
Um.
there of that time? It was
Oh.
like, oh, what did you ever play Spyro? Was that worth it?
Well, that's something I want to play going forward at some point
Okay,
because I played a demo and I never got
never got
I never
round.
got
Yeah,
very far. I never really bothered, but they're meant to be quite nice, easy games, unless you want 100% them.
yeah.
But they're meant to be quite fun little games to play. So I would recommend them.
There's another game. I don't even know if you can get it like digitally anymore or at all. It was a PlayStation game, Medieval. You know that game?
Oh, do you know what? I was just looking at that
Oh, really?
Medieval 1 and 2.
Is that like available? Because I don't want to buy PlayStation games anymore because I'm not collecting for that. So I'm trying to think if I get around to these games, I want to play them in other ways. Is there a way
Um,
of playing those? Because I
The
know they made
Medieval got remastered on PlayStation 4. I don't
only
know
on
if it
four.
got a Switch release. I think it's only on PS4 because I think
Yeah,
it's a Sony exclusive. I
yeah.
could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure yeah, that would they're worth doing. They're good fun.
But it,
Um,
but yeah, it's just that era of like 3D games I might have
yeah,
missed out because I've been just an idiot kind of sticking to my 2D retro stuff, and I've been doing that on Twitch as well. I've just been sticking to just playing 2D, mostly 2D retro stuff, and I'm just kind of like because of playing Resident Evil last year, I was like, oh, you know what, I've missed out on all this, and I'm going to play 2 this year, and I think that'll be good. And
yeah.
Dino
I
Crisis
recommend.
is and the thing as well, which we need to talk about later on. But
Oh yeah. We'll talk about it later, but I've got to think about Dino Crisis as well. It
oh really?
might help you decide to play them as well.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I'll save that if you want for when you're ready. But yeah, I would say with those, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head now with the 3D part to it.
Yeah.
But it's there are but when you do play Resident Evil as well, it's worth playing Resident Evil 3 as well at some point.
Mm.
Nemesis the original version. Yeah, because that has some extra mechanics that number 2 didn't have that makes it a
Nice.
little
Yeah,
bit
I've got the GOG
nicer.
version. That should be okay, shouldn't it? Because that is the original
Oh yeah,
PC version.
oh
Yeah,
that'd be yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I
yeah,
probably
that
won't
version.
play the remasters because although
Yeah,
did they come out on PC? The remasters?
yes, because there's
Oh, on
lots of
Switch as
mods
well.
and stuff.
They were on Switch as well, I think. I'm sure the Resident Evil. I'm sure I've seen Resident Evil on sale on Switch.
But I think they're cloud versions.
Oh,
I could be wrong. I don't think they're actual
it's like you just
native.
swore.
They're cloud.
It's like you just swore on this on the
I
podcast.
know exactly. That's why I'm a bit like.
You may as well say code
yeah.
in box. You know.
Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah.
We should bleep these.
May
out.
require the internet.
Makes me shiver. I hate those things. But anyway, that's the kind of thing I'm looking for after after playing a bunch of these games. But should we get on to some of the news?
Yes.
Right, so,
Yeah, we've got quite a lot actually.
We've got quite a lot, yeah.
Well,
So the first bit of news I want to talk about is something directly to do with you, really, because we were talking about this with the Switch 2 event that is happening around April. Well, you can say April 11th to the 13th. Now you could apply to go to one of these hands-on events with the Switch 2. Now, yeah, go on, take it away. You applied, didn't
yes. So myself and Danielle both applied for it, but we don't have a family plan. We have our own individual Switch accounts. So we did that, but it means we get 2 opportunities to try and get a ticket. The problem is if I got it and Danielle didn't, I'm going on my own, or if Danielle got it on her own, she'd be going on her own. But I thought if at least one of us gets to go, that'd be great, because then we can interrogate the other one to find out more information about it. So yeah, we both applied. So Danny went into the kitchen to cook dinner. All of a sudden, you come running in the room, screaming her head off. I got in! I got an email. Quick, take your emails. So I jumped on my emails. It went, sorry, you haven't made it through the process. So and Danny went, oh, I feel really bad.
They should
now.
let you bring someone. You should, you know what I mean?
Because what if a kid won it? Like,
Exactly.
He wouldn't go on its own, would he?
Maybe,
you know?
I mean, read into it. You know, you might have a +1.
Yeah, I have to ask her how that. Yeah, but if it doesn't, and she does have to go on her own, she did say for us to ask questions, and if you know you wanted to put them on the podcast after she goes to the event, she would like from yourself some questions of things that you want to know about.
Yeah,
that she can try and find out for you while she's there. Like,
and that goes to anyone who's interested in this as well. Please put some comments down below. What do you want to know beforehand, so we don't have to like pry all the information afterwards.
Yeah, that would be really nice, because because she said to me, like, let me know what you want to know about it. Because for me, my exciting bits, which I probably won't show, is I want to know what the interface is like.
Yeah.
I want to know how that looks.
Because bear in mind,
know how
it's April 11th. We're going to see most of it from the direct. So it's like going to be questions about how does it feel.
Yeah, how it feels, the quality of it.
Stuff they won't mention. How does it feel using the mouse? You know what I mean? Does it feel natural? All that stuff.
And what they're going to use to show that off.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's sort of things that, anyone who wants to comment about what they would like to know that's not an obvious one that people are going to say.
Bring your original Switch and maybe take a photo with it next to the other one or something like that. If you,
I'm going to ask. Yeah, I've actually asked about that. I'm going to ask her to I've asked her to take my my camera with her to try and film it. They have been good in the past, because me and Daddy went to the 3DS event when they first launched that.
Yeah.
And that was somewhere in London. I can't remember now, but that was somewhere in London. And I filmed loads there, and they were happy for me to film. So hopefully same situation, but if not, we can at least get our recollection and like describing what she get, because it's so hard to come by. So many people I know applied for it, and no one else I know.
No, it's good.
Unless you're aware of anyone.
No, I wish I would have definitely applied and just made my way up there somehow. But obviously, I'm going to be away. It's like
you should have applied anyway. All I've got to do, wear a hat, some red headphones.
Hello. And but
hello,
the thing is,
my name is CJ.
There's one in Toronto where I'm going, but it's like it's happening when we come back. And I was like, well, this is great. Everything is the worst possible time.
Good. Yeah,
ridiculous.
You've had years to go to Canada, and you decided to go then.
I know. I don't know about you, but like this, it sounds weird to say, but I'm so excited about this launch this year. I could do with a new Nintendo thing. And I know it's not like I'm seeing a lot of people
Yeah.
hitting at it, saying it's not like, oh, it's not as innovative as like normally Nintendo do. But I kind of don't want them to drop the ball. You know what I mean? With this,
Yeah.
because the Switch is so good. I'm happy with a new version of the Switch, which just makes it a bit bigger and it's just got more bells and whistles. I'm happy
Well,
for that.
it says that you're saying it right there. That's why they haven't changed it. It's
Exactly.
worked so well.
Yeah,
They've made
it's
some
very
changes to
safe
it.
for them to call it the Switch 2, and it is literally just a bigger
Yeah,
Switch,
that's quite historical because they've never ever really called it
What was
a
the
console
what was the
sequel.
iteration of the 3DS called? Was it like the new 3DS or something like that? The one we just
Yeah,
added
new
the nub?
3DS.
That was such like an Apple way of doing things,
It
wasn't it?
is. It was.
I didn't
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. It was
I
like
got
they also did that. They also copied Apple a little bit when they went to DSi. Do
oh
you remember
god,
when they
DSi,
DSi as
yeah.
well?
What was
Um,
the nub for on the 3DS? Because I got one of those, and I don't think I ever used it. I can't remember.
it's basically the right analog
Oh,
stick on
was
a
it?
controller.
I can't remember even using it.
It was good for games that have like the camera where you use the right stick to do it.
Okay. Every time we talk about the 3DS, I always think I need to power that back up because again, I want to
Loving my 3DS.
continue collecting for
It's
Nintendo, and I need to get some 3DS games. At some point,
you
we'll do
should.
like a best like 10 games you should own on 3DS because I want to
Oh,
kind of
I'd
get
love to do
involved.
that
We
actually
should
because
do that.
I do. I'm quite passionate about the 3DS.
Really want to do that on DS and all that stuff because it's just I want to collect for them. But yeah, I'm excited about this. You should
Yeah.
do a video on your YouTube channel for this with Danny, and then
I'm hoping to because I want to
should do
do
it.
kind of like a sort of like mini interview type thing, and then just sort of ask her the questions
Just
and
go straight away. Go to a coffee shop straight after, so it's all fresh.
that's what. Well,
Yeah,
that's the thing. I'm gonna go with her, and if I can't get in because it's XL Centre, and I've been there loads of times for
yeah,
other expos. The inside there, they've got like they've got a coffee shop and other things there,
yeah.
and you won't just walk. You get into the building, but you got the actual hall bits are on the left and right side of the main walkway, which is
Okay.
public. So I can like basically go off, have a drink because I don't think from what she said, it's not that you're not there that long. You ain't there all day or anything.
No, it's
It's
gonna be
like an
five,
hour
ten
or
minutes, isn't
two.
it? Oh, she's got an hour there.
Yeah, it's something like
Whoa,
that. It's
that's quite a lot. I thought it was gonna be like 5, 10 minutes.
oh well I don't know, depending on how the queues work and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. But she's not there. Like it's not like a whole event for the entire day,
Oh, she'll
basically.
be
So
queuing. She hasn't gotten a
yes,
lot of time or anything like that. She's just gonna get there on a day.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think well, technically she has because it was applied for the morning, afternoon,
Oh, I see. They must have
or sort of
slots.
time, and she went for the morning slot. So it'd be first
I've
thing
got
in
a
the
feeling it'll
morning.
be a presentation, won't it? It'll be like I don't know if that was like that with the 3DS one. We'll have someone showing it off, and then you hold it and have a look at it, and they'll just be talking about it.
Whoa, the one that made the 3DS one so good is when we turned up, we're thinking, yeah, it would be just someone holding it, talking about it. But we went in, they had loads of kiosks set up with it. They had different sections for different types of games you could play, and they were set up on a unit, so you couldn't move them off or whatever. But they had them all there, and you could play them all, and they were quite involved with what you're allowed to do with it, which was quite
Wow.
nice. So I'm hoping the Switch 2 does that. It depends how
Yeah,
much
I'm hoping that as well.
you
I
know,
mean, it's going to be mad because like you're going to see everything on April the 2nd. It's just that you've got to
yes.
come up with those like, okay, what else? What else do I need to know? Is the stand feel sturdy? That's a good
Well, that's it,
question. You know
things
what I
like
mean?
that.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
never really used a stand. As soon as I got a thing to put it, I was like, I'm never because it never felt like it was a good enough stand. If
Well,
you push it
it's
and
the
it'll
angle I
break.
didn't like. It
No.
was too upright because I bought like a third party like metal stand. I
Yeah,
would
I
carry
like
it
that one.
folds down, and they're fantastic because
Well
you can
better.
angle it. Because I like to look at this like it like, at that
Yeah, me too.
angle rather than
Because
like
I've got a
this.
plastic version of that, and every time I look at it, I think, oh, I wish I got the metal one now because it's like a bit more robust. You know what I mean? But I couldn't get one. I think it's
Yeah.
when I was looking at the one you had, it was like
They're
sold
hard to get
out.
hold of now for some
Yeah,
bizarre reason. You
that's
know.
yeah. The next bit of news, and I've gone straight to the site for this one, but it is the actually we can have a look at the main thing. I was looking at this, the digital archive that's
Yes.
happened of the video game archive. Is it better to have a look at a bit of news for it first? Actually, let me just get this up.
There should be
There is
link
one, isn't
just
it?
below it.
Let me
Yeah.
get this up just a minute. Can I, if I do that, then
But
copy
yeah, it's
this.
quite exciting what this is, and it's most exciting
Here we
for
go.
researchers as well, and people want to do videos about histories and
Oh,
stuff.
it's absolutely amazing. The Video
Yeah,
Game History Foundation digital library is now available in early access. So it's basically just like if you think about it like an online library slash Wikipedia service for
yes,
researchers of video game history and preservation, I guess. But
Yeah, because it's not. Yeah, it's not even just like a few articles. Literally, there's unreleased design work. There is there's like letters from the companies talking
there's
about
so
what
much
they want
stuff.
from it. It's
Yeah.
not just a typical. Oh, here's a little bit of the making. It's literally like
Everything you can get
letters,
the hands of. Yeah.
sketches. It's got all you
And
know
it
all that
seems
sort of
like
stuff.
it's going to be really good for like, if you're making a YouTube video and you want to do some
Yeah.
research about like a video game or something, it's going to
Mm.
be a really good tool for that. That's what they seem, because it seems to be free, which is good. And they said this
Yeah,
is
it's free to anyone to use because it's sort of like a museum type of deal. And the thing that makes it good as well, they've got video footage of makings and advertisements. And the thing it's got really clever, it's not just you search for oh yeah, that bit
that's
about
brilliant. Outtakes of Macho Man of what
yes.
from game. It's amazing.
How cool was that? Yeah, outtakes from games, and also it's got a very clever system from because I've watched the whole video, and
So cool.
essentially he says you can search for a word of a game, and it will find it in an advert of a magazine. It actually does do
Oh
look
yeah.
for words in advertisements, not just an article, which I
We'll have a
found
look at the
absolutely
website in a
genius.
second, because I had a look before and I was just astounded by it, because I love gaming magazines.
Yes,
And but I didn't have, well, obviously we didn't have access to a lot of the American ones. So there's a lot of,
yeah.
I was expecting, well, I don't know, I would love to like Nintendo Power and all that stuff to be there, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I don't know if there's an issue with that, the rights and stuff. We've got EGM and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how in depth they've got it, but they're always
This is
archiving
everyone
new
with
items.
E3. Who was at E3
Yeah,
and where they were.
things like that,
Yeah,
which
so
is
cool.
like you wouldn't necessarily know because he even says people don't know of like what games were shown at this particular event or what there was meant to have been there that didn't
Yeah.
make it, things like that.
I'll go to the website because this is like a lot of people just talking about it. But this is what I was looking at before, and you can go. Basically, this is like the magazine area where we were talking
Yeah.
about. Sorry, this bit here. And let's go to the Casual Connect. Some of these I've never heard of. I'll be honest.
Yeah, again, it must have been very heavily. I didn't remember like Game Pro and Electronic
EGM. That's the
Gaming
one I
Monthly.
know
That
of.
one.
Where you can
Yeah.
go into this, and then you can look at all of these magazines. It's insane.
And it's crazy because I did a test of it and I wrote in Croc to see what comes
Oh, it
up because
comes
there
up.
isn't that much stuff on Croc about really, and it was finding adverts, it was finding bits and pieces for it.
It's Wizards and Warriors in the front there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
But this is incredible. So I wonder what like you have. I wonder you must have some guidelines. Say if I was doing a retrospective on the Wisdom Warriors
mm.
games, and I wanted to use some of this magazine or whatever. Like I wonder if they have to like cite. I suppose you have to set references in your description at least or something like that. Maybe there must be some
Well,
kind of
yeah.
guidelines, rules. I don't know how they
Normally,
do it.
when researchers have stuff featured, or if they use other parts of videos, they normally just give like the credit on them and
Yeah,
stuff
because
like that.
they've got it from Retro Mags. I guess it was another third party service.
Yeah, because a lot of this stuff
They
was
donated.
donated to them,
Yeah,
so
that's
they
really
can.
good, isn't it?
That's really, and I just think it's absolutely genius. And even if it's just saying, even if you ain't doing it for a video, and you just are really passionate about a certain game or certain system or whatever, you can just look up stuff that you may not have ever seen before.
Like all this stuff, you could scour this for hours, couldn't you?
Yeah, there's hours, and they're
Midway
always
artwork,
constantly uploading
Robotron. Oh my
stuff.
god, look at this stuff. Jesus.
Yeah, they have scans of the discs, the artwork. Yeah, just like that, you know.
It's incredible. But yeah, it's free as well. You can support it by obviously donating. But I've always said this, like it's all the promo details as well, like of which I want to say. I don't know if it's already part of this, but when I always think of in the late 80s and 90s, Walkers did that collaboration with Nintendo with the
Yes.
the Mario stuff. And I was thinking, what is there a place where they would show you the crisps, the packets, and all that stuff, and the adverts that came with them and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, this would be the place to put all that, wouldn't it? On a website like this, and you do want a centralized place we can go. I'm going to check that place.
Yeah,
It'll have it.
you just want that one place to get everything rather than have to sort
Yeah.
of jump in between stuff, and then you know that it's been like almost like checked through. And also, as I said, everything they scan, it picks up every single word with the way the algorithm works, or the system they use that's been custom written for that. It's not just here's some thumbnails of all this stuff and you can do a little search for it. It's got quite a back end to it, apparently.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I think it's been a great time to be able to do stuff like that. Right. Next up, this is weird though. This is one.
Yeah, I had to include it, but it's I don't know the point of it, but
I was when you put this in, I was thinking. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, it was just the reason why I included it is because it's including new text.
For those listening on the Spotify podcast, do you want to introduce what this new segment is?
Yeah, so it's essentially there's a guy that you can create a cartridge kit to be able to pick up FM radio waves on it, and you plug your headphones in the top of the cartridge, and you can browse on the actual device itself. So it uses the power of the Game Boy to use it.
I want to get rid of this advert, and I can't. It's
right
in the way of everything.
It's right away there.
It's the worst place, isn't it? It's gone now.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like I think it can be done, so they did it.
Yeah,
there's no logic.
So basically, it's FM radio on your Game Boy.
Yes, basically,
tuner.
It's a bit like having a TV tuner for the Game Gear, isn't it? You know.
And yeah, exactly like that, isn't
That's
it?
what
It's
it
got
is,
that kind of novelty factor.
Yeah,
and I do like it, but I can't remember the last time I listened to FM radio.
You know, I didn't even know FM radio was still about me, because I always think of
digital radio. Yeah,
yes, yeah.
That's all I do, like listen to BBC Six or something. But like, I kind of like the idea of it. But it's how much is it? I don't know if it actually says in the here how much it is.
I can't remember, but there was two ones you could buy it pre-done, or you can get by the kit.
Yeah. PCB board is like $31, or assembled it's 61. Wow,
it's more of a thing for, I guess, like modders and like developers that can use it somehow. Maybe they can.
It's just like it can be done. So like, let's do it.
It can be done essentially.
Yeah. And I suppose they're all in. They do the print versions of it. You can get different colors to match your Game Boy as well.
Yeah.
I love the color.
I just like quirky because we talk about a lot of Game Boy stuff lately, and that's why I thought that would be quite a nice.
But you know what, right? Because I've been watching a lot of like toy and gaming videos on with toy fairs and all that stuff on YouTube, and it was one I was watching yesterday where they went to the. Did you go to the Leeds gaming?
I didn't know, because me and Daniel went to the Chinese New Year parade in London.
Because I was asking people, but there was like no one getting back. So it was like, I assume that no one went, or everyone went, and something happened, and no one was.
I think a couple of people said, I know, I was thinking so, because I didn't go either. So I was eager. I want people to say what it was like, what did they get. I saw a couple of things that people got. But no one really spoke much about it for some reason.
No, it was weird. It's like, because when we go, there's like loads of photos, and I didn't see anything. But I definitely want to go to the Birmingham one, I guess, when that's next.
That one, I definitely go into that one.
But I watched a video last night of someone who went, and and I just saw like an array of Game Boys, and it just makes me realise I do like the idea of collecting loads of different coloured Game Boys. It's like
that's a
slippery slope, isn't it? But I can imagine like a nice kind of collection of them and a nice little platform somewhere. Nice. Just look.
Get rid of them He-Man figures, push them out the way. And Game Boys.
Well, there should be more space when I've opened all those figures.
Yes, true.
There should be, but that's probably for more figures. But I do like the look of the. I mean, these are all definitely modded. You get all the colours in them and all that. But
you got the original. You got the original. That purple one is a newer type rebuild. That was one you could buy the PCB and you build it from scratch. And then you got the analog pocket is the orange.
Yeah.
And then you got the end one is I forgot what it's called.
Is that the mod retro or something?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Nice builds. That purple one, I love the way the colour of the Game Boy Color logo comes out. I don't know what that'd be like if that's always there. And it probably is always there, isn't it? I wonder what that's like when you're playing a game. Will that start burning into your retina, of your eyes?
Well, it's because they're customizable, that one.
Yeah.
So you kind of do it to your specs, apparently.
Right. I like it though. I love all these, but I kind of want to collect a lot of the original ones. But they are quite expensive. I remember like the last time I went and saw a price in the wild for like even a normal Game Boy was just £75 on its own.
Yeah.
Did you remember that? Yeah, that was a Birmingham. I think it was last year. I was like, oh my god!
And they're not even the best conditions either. No. Some of them. I mean, they're like, really?
I mean, I'm going to talk about that right now because the issue I've got with gaming fairs, and because I've been watching those videos, is the prices. They've gone up like insanely lately. And
Yeah.
it's kind of and that's why I'm playing a lot of like games in of different ways, because a lot of the games I want to play, I go, I can't afford this hobby is insanely expensive
It's
to get
because
into.
it's got each year the events have been on. It's got more and more popular the more it happens. Before it was a bit bespoke for people to go to these, but it's got every time I go, every time I get overhearing, it's people going just curious, and because
Yeah,
they're not knowing prices, I've seen people pick up games that you can get a lot cheaper, like quite a lot cheaper,
yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, they've got this game," and they've just gone fully for nostalgia, not cared how much it cost, and then picked it up anyway.
Picked it up
And because
anyway.
they've done that, they
Yeah.
think, "Well, we can do that," you know.
It's got to the point where janky games are really expensive. Like I remember, I don't think The
Yeah.
Crow was a good game when it came out. There's a PS2 game, I think, of The Crow. I can't remember what it was on, but anyway, I saw it in a
Was it
video and someone was like,
PS1?
"Was it
Or
PS1?"
I think,
I can't
I
remember, but
think
I remember
it was
seeing
proper
footage of it
janky.
and thinking it wasn't that good.
No.
But it didn't look that good, but it was like going for a quite pricey, quite expensive. I was like, that's not.
Yeah, they go by the rare, but yeah, that's always the
If it's
strange.
rare, then it's good. You know, that kind of thing, of that mentality,
Yeah,
rather than will you enjoy and play this game? There's a bit of that, isn't
yeah.
there?
Just it looks good on the shelf, and you can
Exactly.
boast of
I
it
mean, I
it's
can
their
talk because I
game.
buy toys and that some of them look good on the shelf and stuff. But there's the video game side of me, like I kind of want to get around to playing these games, and I mean, it's definitely priced me out of the completing box collector. I can't be a completing box collector anymore. I
Yeah,
was.
I've given up on that. Unless you get lucky and you
Yeah,
get hold of a game with the box for the same price, the
yeah,
cartridge.
exactly. It's the
Oh, I'll
same.
go for it. I'll go for it.
Like my NES collection, it's just carts, and it's
Yeah,
same as like Famicoms or anything like that, and SNES. I've been lucky with the old, as you said, like you go to get, and it's like maybe the difference is like not that noticeable, maybe a few quid. And I got okay for the box or whatever, but
yeah.
I am out of box collector because it makes me actually use it as well. You know,
Oh yeah, because it's there, and also a lot of them makes it a bit easier. Other than the Super Nintendo, unlike the American ones, where you've got the labels on the side.
yeah,
I do the same. Game Boy and SNES, I'm happy to have completely loose. But weirdly, when it comes to things like disc-based consoles or Mega Drive or Master System, I at least want the case with it.
no, I agree with that
That's
because
one thing I do have to do.
I think
I
it's
don't know about
also I
manual.
don't think it's that much difference really. I mean, maybe with
No.
my system, but it's because the boxes are quite robust, aren't they? You know,
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
car,
Yeah. So
you're
it's a bit
paying.
cardboard.
You got a cardboard tax with Nintendo. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I don't know how like if it sends the prices like correct, but I'm happy to go through carts with Nintendo and have a big
Yeah.
collection of carts. I'm happy, but yeah, Mega Drive and Mega Master System.
Yeah. Things like
Although
that.
Game Gear, I kind of like. I'm fine with Game Gear carts because
But
like
again,
yeah,
Game Gear
it's
games,
cardboard.
they were cardboard as
Yeah,
well.
it's true. Yeah, it's weird. It must be like a weird
It
like
must be a cardboard
plastic.
thing.
Yeah, it must be a cardboard thing. We just go,
Yeah.
I'm paying the cardboard tax. Don't want to wreck it. Right. So that was that news. It's what a little bit of happier news though. Nintendo expands the Switch Online's N64 library with Namco Classic Ridge Racer 64. Well, I've got to admit something. I never knew there was a Ridge Racer 64.
I forgot it had one. I was like, oh yeah, but I've never ever played that
Let's
version.
have a look of the trailer a bit because I just didn't know it existed, and I don't. I want to pretend. Oh yeah, I know this game. I don't. Did
I know
not
it
know the
well
other
on
one.
PlayStation, but I never the
It's one of
S4
those
one. I
oddities,
remember.
isn't it? Like, you know, when like Doom went on the N64, they had a Ridge Racer, and I'll be honest, it looks awesome. It looks really
Yeah,
good.
it's got all the voice in as well. Because the big thing
Wow.
with that game is when you got the commentary when you're
Yeah.
going around, like, oh, he's in second, he's in first, and the voice is quite good with it. And I need to give it a go because Danny's got the N64 set of that. Um,
Yeah. How
and
much
yeah,
is that
and
now?
also because that one's part of the
Yeah, I've got this. This is why I'm very adamant about like I need to utilize all of this stuff.
yes,
Like they put that out on there. I think because when it first happened, when it first started putting stuff on there, we were like, oh, the Nintendo Online service, there's nothing on there. But now
yeah,
we've got to a point where there's quite a lot of good stuff on there.
there honestly is, yeah.
You can literally pay for this, and you don't really have to play anything else, especially if you write retro stuff. But you got a multiplayer cloud saves, which you definitely need.
Yeah.
What's the yellow question mark denote?
I think that's when you can earn points to get that, or rather, it's trials for games because that's
Yeah,
one thing.
yeah.
Or it could be that it's where you like get the coins to spend
Oh
on
yeah,
like
you're right.
discounts and
Against
stuff.
and that does come in handy. I use that all the time. Like
I do actually. I see something, and I think, well, I want to buy it. A game might only be about $5 or something.
Yeah.
Oh, like, well, the latest one I got was Tales of Iron 2 on Switch, and
Nice.
it was about, I think it was £12, but I had £8 like
It
that,
mounts up, doesn't it?
kind of
Mounts up.
in the amount to add on
Yeah.
top of it, and I was like, oh, I'll
You've
use
always
that.
got something. I mean, that's such a clever little psychological thing they've put in there because you always go, "Oh, I've got a little discount because I've got some money against it," even if it's like a
It'll give
quiz
me
or
like
something.
50p, and you go,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
I'll save a
Yeah,
little bit.
it's a lot cheaper. But also, if you get the expansion pack, you're getting in 64 games, Game Boy Color stuff like that. It's like low. That's brilliant. All the Mario.
Yeah,
It's
Game
weird
Boy
when they
Advance.
latch on like game DLC, which is weird. The Mario Kart 8 stuff.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that's part of that.
Yeah. And you get all that, and Animal Crossing. I don't know what you get in Animal Crossing. I'm so ready for an Animal Crossing, though. I want to get into that
Yeah, new
series.
one.
Definitely
Yeah,
want to get into
well,
that.
the 3DS one, I love the 3D New Leaf on
Oh.
3DS. Really, really good.
And obviously Splatoon. Is it 2?
Yeah.
Isn't there a 3 out? Is it Splatoon
Yeah.
3? Isn't it weird that they got 2 there? That's weird, isn't it?
I
You just
don't
haven't
actually
changed
know
the
what it
end
is.
screen.
I don't, because I don't have that part of the what set I have, because it's
I'm-
only if you've got the full set, the
I
expansion.
always
and I
forget that
don't-
they've got Mega Drive stuff on there because it's such a weird thing them to do. But they've got like loads of Mega Drive stuff on there. I wonder if that stuff will start disappearing. I mean, like, because Sega want to do their own online service at some point.
Yeah, I wanted to, because, but then I think, yeah, but they might keep a little bit. They might have some on there, but other titles won't be on there because
There's probably a
they're still
timed
gonna
thing,
make
isn't
money
it? There's
on it.
probably like a timed exclusive or something that they've got just to keep hold of it. A timed thing.
It's like when the eShop they did on the Wii, they had PC Engine games on there.
Yeah.
That
I
was the
don't know-
most bad thing, wasn't it?
I don't know if we added it to the news, and we might have forgot actually. Oh, it's weird.
What
It's weird.
the?
Yeah, it's weird that we both put that on the news, but I put that Ridge Racer later on as well.
Oh, sorry, I didn't
no, it's
notice
all right.
that.
I think you put it first, maybe. But they also been added on the Game Boy Color is Wario Land 3. I want to say.
Yeah,
Is it
because
Wario Land
4 was on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, was it
That
this?
must be
Was
3.
it this one? Or what was it? Maybe. Or was it the advanced one? It was one that got like, added. Well, it's in my Discord.
Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember actually.
Because I haven't played it, so I'm not aware of it. What game?
Do you know what? I get a bit lost with all the Wario games because I've only ever played the Game Boy Advance one, which I forget which number that is, and I've not played
Right,
the Virtual Boy one or the Game Boy Color version.
This one, whatever this one is. So
I haven't actually seen this trailer.
It is the Game Boy Advance one.
Game Boy Advance, yeah.
So I want to play this after I've played Mario Land, whatever it is, 3 or 4, whatever. How many Mario Lands on the Game Boy are there? Oh, it's a Wario Land. It's so confusing.
There's Wario Land 2 on Game Boy. It's on the black cartridge, so technically it's original Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Which one is Super Mario Land 3? Because that's Wario Land.
Wario Land.
That's Wario
the
Land
first
1.
Wario Land. Yeah.
And then 2 is.
And then Wario Land 2.
Yeah, and then the third one is the black cartridge one. So there's 3 on Game Boy? Or there's the third?
I know. Four is Game Boy Advance. 2 is on Game Boy Color and original Game Boy. And then the other one. Yeah. And then also, don't forget, you got the Virtual Boy one as well.
Oh, God, yeah. And why? Oh, I'd love them to release those games. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, the frustrating bit is, if you modify your 3DS, I've actually got a 3D, got a Virtual Boy emulator on there.
Cool.
And the 3D works.
Oh, that's good.
It works really well.
Yeah.
So you can play them off there.
I would love a Virtual Boy and Rob for my collection because being a big Nintendo fan, I know you've got both of those things. You're just looking around your room now.
Yeah, I don't.
But they're grails for me in the game inside, and you've already got them. Oh, look how good that looks, by the way.
It makes the game quite interesting. It doesn't play like Mario Land,
doesn't it?
No, there is. It has got a different type of style of play.
It looks like mini games. Is it kind of like? Is it
mini there must be some mini game bits on it, but
they go mini game esque like in the later versions of the Wario games, don't they? Like in the Wii and all that.
The WarioWare stuff and all that.
WarioWare smooth moves and all that.
Oh, it's 4. That's it. It's 4.
Yeah, 4. There you go. Coming on Valentine's Day of all days.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm excited about that. And I don't know if all the other ones are there. I guess they're not. I haven't checked the Game Boy.
I don't have a chance to check. I don't. Yeah, we did. Well, the thing was, that was quite an iconic one for the Game Boy Advance because that was quite a jump away from that as the first bigger one on there. But I think they got that way because at that point we didn't really have a new. They still never had a new Mario game on the Game Boy Advance because you had the Game Boy Mario Advance games, but they were just re-releases of the SNES.
Yeah, that's
That
it.
one's a unique one to the
Yeah.
to the Game Boy Advance.
And I actually played some of the Game Boy Advance recently, and just went onto the Mario games, and it's
Mm.
just they're weird. I don't know if I like them, like compared to the originals.
They feel strange to play. When I did
Yeah,
Mario World, which is Mario Advance 2, they got very
yeah.
strange sequence. It didn't feel right. I couldn't play the same as the Super
No,
Nintendo one.
the controls. Well, the controls, the gravity and everything of the way they move. It
Yeah,
just didn't
there
feel
was
right.
it's something off
Something
about
wrong.
it.
Something wrong.
Yeah.
So next thing we've got to talk about is this is a post from GOG basically saying that Dino Crisis 1 and 2
Yeah.
were out. Do you know what's quite good about it? That he just released both of them straight away. Because when he did Resident
Yeah,
Evil,
it's not like building them
the
up, right?
sequence,
Your first one, maybe a little while later. It's
yeah,
like, right, 1 and 2.
straight away. The only thing now that does is we've listened to Legend of Dino Crisis and Dino Crisis 2 about. So I was talking about this with somebody on Discord, Happy and Adequate Quota. And I was saying, because I started playing Resident Evil, and you've played all these on stream. I think you played all
Yes.
on
Yeah,
stream.
me and Danny played these on our
You're
Sundays.
saying the second game is more arcadey.
Yeah, so the first game is proper survival horror to a point where you don't collect loads of ammo and kill the dinosaurs. Half the time you're having to tranquilize them and then leg it, and then
And they
it
come
only
back, they're
lasts for a
still
short
there.
period of time, which makes it quite difficult. Well, we got through it, but it's a lot more difficult. The second one, they went completely different. They actually reward you for killing more dinosaurs because you kind of get XP and stuff, and
You
it
level up.
turns into an all-on action game.
Oh
The
wow!
second one compared to it's very different to the first.
Weird when you describe it. All I can think of, I don't know why, is Aliens, the arcade game. Do you know why? I just run around that.
It's yeah, it is literally you are every time you see one, you blast them, and you're basically rewarded for it. Well, the first one, and also the first game has got a cool mechanic that was only in that and not in Resident Evils. If you get bitten by it or scratched by a dinosaur, you do bleed. So you don't just get a rub a herb on you, and then you're all
Yeah.
good and you're good to go. This one you can use the medipacks, but you've also got to use bandages to stop the bleeding, or
Oh
you will
god.
lose health.
I don't know if I
Which
like that.
that freaked me out
That's a lot
because
of work.
it is extra work. It worked out okay, but it is an extra kind of scary bit to it.
Who made Dino Crisis? I mean, that's why you put it on the
It's
spot.
Capcom.
Oh, it's like Capcom as well. Oh my
It's
god.
literally
It's the
it's
same
Resident
game.
Evil people doing the same
Wow.
game again. The only one I'm so glad they haven't included it. Dino Crisis 3.
I was gonna say that's like an RPG, isn't it? I remember watching that, and it was just like a lot of dialogue.
Oh,
Going into
well, it's
tents and
not.
chatting
It's
to
an
people.
action game
Oh,
with terrible camera angles with a lot of talking.
yeah. Yeah, I remember you going into
And
like tents and talking to a bunch of people. And I was like, okay, where's the dinosaurs?
it's set in space, and it
Mm.
has no link except from a single letter we found that mentions events in Dino Crisis 2. That
Oh,
is
okay.
it. It
All
has
right.
no. It's almost like they just slapped the name on it
What
to a
was that
point.
on? Those.
Original Xbox of all
Oh, okay.
places.
So
Yeah,
they.
it didn't get any other release other than a original Xbox, so it's
So I
exclusive.
think are people, do you think, are fine with 3 not making it? Do you think number 1 and 2
Yeah,
are the
people don't
best?
really care. I wanted to play it because it looks decent, but there's
Hmm.
times where you'll end up shooting dinosaurs off screen because
Yeah.
the camera angle they're at, and they keep going out of shot. So you keep on kind of it auto aims, so you know you're shooting them, but you can't
Yeah.
see them. It kind of ruins it. But yeah, but they're definitely worth
I'm gonna pick these
definitely
up.
worth playing. They're
Because
really
like I
good.
said before, I'm trying not to like. If I've got PlayStation stuff, I'm trying to siphon them off. So if there's any other
Yeah.
way to play them like this, I'll do it that way. You know.
It will be worth it because the reason why they've also brought it out because there's massive outcry when Capcom were going to be releasing or re-releasing the game. Everyone thought it was going to be Dino Crisis
Yeah.
because out of all the games that need remasters, it still looks good. But just imagine how it would look with the Resident Evil 2
With like
engine.
all
Amazing.
talk about like all the Jurassic Park films coming out all the time,
Yeah.
and the fact that I was saying this today or the other day on a stream that the amount of, like I go to Smiths or something, toy shops, and the amount of dinosaurs on sale for kids is insane because kids love dinosaurs. I'm not saying kids are
Yeah,
gonna
always have. It's
play
never.
this, but it's still like a popular thing all
Yeah.
around dinosaurs. Like you just announced the new Jurassic Park movie that's coming out this year, and it just feels like why are they dropping the ball on a celebrated game like a Dino Crisis.
I don't. Yeah, I think Capcom's
And
bit on
Capcom
that.
kind of just remastered everything, don't they? They're going through all of the Resident Evil games, and like, why haven't they done? Why haven't they jumped onto this?
Yeah, they keep on rumoring saying they're going to be doing it, but it's just
Yeah.
people hoping.
Well, talking about like hoping, GOG also put out this statement. We're thrilled to announce the GOG Dream List. So this is basically where you can kind of tell them what game you want them to do for the future, because they're incredible. I think this is a great thing. So I just want to take this opportunity. What would you want them to do? 'Cause I've got a game that went straight to my mind then. If you want me to say it, the way you're thinking. The first game that came to my mind, which I have not seen digitally put across, is Silent Hill. The first Silent Hill. I don't understand why it's not like anywhere.
It's a strange one because because I heard you talking about wanting to get that game. It's very expensive.
Yeah, I don't want to
Because
buy it. Like, I don't want to buy.
ridiculous.
I want to get a digital version of it to
Yeah.
play, because I'm not spending that much money. And for some reason, they like remastered 2, went straight to 2,
Yeah, it went straight to number 2, which is bizarre because number 2, if you
remade 2.
play number 2 and 3, graphically, because they're on PS2, they look great already. Number 1, it has aged a bit.
Yeah, definitely. From what I see,
And the only one they've got kind of a remake, but it's not. Well, it's actually a remake, not remaster. Is the one on the Wii called Shattered Memories?
Oh no, Shadows, not Memories. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but it's not. I thought it was the first game redone, but it's totally different. You can't attack.
Is it the one where you use the Wii remote as a flashlight? Is that one?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's really good, but it's not the first game. Really, it's a reimagining, and I don't know why they haven't gone down that route because it was massive. It sold well. Number 2 did better because I think it really
people
established.
love 2.
But yeah,
And
that's
it. Was all the new version of 2 was all over Twitch.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
Oh
they
my
did do a good
word.
job of it technically because everyone loved it.
I didn't expect that, to be honest. I didn't expect that to be one of the. It's like Baldur's Gate 3. I didn't expect that to be all over Twitch because it's such a heavy RPG. Do you know what I mean? I didn't think everyone would be jumping on that. It's like, oh god, it shocks me a little bit. But yeah, Silent Hill for me would be one of those games that it's just kind of got lost and it doesn't seem to get like they don't care about it. Obviously, they're not bothered about making a remaster or whatever. They went straight to 2. So at least just keep it like alive, so we don't have to go and pay astronomical amounts of money to buy a hard copy. And I've never played it. I've seen it. I remember playing a demo with Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah,
I thought it was
same,
incredible. I was scared just like back then, just to hear the radio. I thought it was great.
It's a really good game, and it's nothing like Resident Evil.
No.
Where people say, "Oh, well, it's Resident Evil." It's not. It's
got
a
puzzles in
psychological
it,
horror.
but
There are, and a lot of like wandering around for stuff. But you kind of learn where you need to go, and it all builds up the story. And the whole series is worth it alone.
Yeah.
We've played 1 to 4,
I'd love to play them at some point,
all of them.
It seems like I like horror, and I feel like that'd be a good kind of opportunity to play all those. But it's one of those ones where I want to start from the beginning, even though it kind of you don't really need to, because Pyramid Head's not even in the first one, is he?
No, they made him a bit of a massive arch villain, but it's not. It doesn't make sense.
Because I saw the movie. that's my Silent Hill knowledge, and it's like
it doesn't make sense because I can't really say, but it does make sense with other characters. The thing that is also bizarre is that Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3. Silent Hill 3 is not a sequel to 2. It's a sequel to the first game.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Is Silent Hill 2 its own story then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I find so bizarre because you've got other future characters are in Silent Hill 3 and they refer to Silent Hill 1.
How many mainline Silent Hill games were there? Like 4?
I would say there's 4 because you got the first one and then you got that one character. Then you got a different character, number 2. Number 3 arch back to number 1. And then number 4 is a mixture of bits of it because that's a bit of a separate story altogether.
Yeah. I mean, is there no word on like a new Silent Hill? That was the last? Oh, wasn't there something about that? Was it just 2 that when we watched that? Didn't he put out a thing recently?
There was meant to be a new Silent Hill game that's set in like Japan and stuff like that. They did bring out a short story game. I can't remember what it's called now, but it was about like a friend who passed away, and they're just like it's going back to stories with her. But it was only a short-lived. It was free. It was a free game, but that was interesting, but didn't get well good write up. But the one you're interested in, which they really focus heavily on like an ancient Japan type one with all this like fungus and stuff, and it looked really weird in the trailer. But apparently they're bringing out a new movie and a new game, but it's gone very quiet at the moment.
New movie. I did remember that.
Yeah.
Because there were 2 movies originally.
Yes.
And the first one, I didn't mind the first one. It had this stupid, like, kind of outside of the story with Sean Bean looking for his wife. That felt like so tacked on. It was like out of nowhere because he doesn't really see anyone else in the movie at all. Just him.
But sadly, they're like the best video game movies they had out at the time. There's a little bit more with it. When you play the games, it makes a little bit more sense to a point with how characters are.
It's tough with a game that's got like a heavy narrative everyone celebrates. You know, when everyone loves the story, and then you try and make that into a movie. It feels like it's never going to please everyone because everyone is so invested in the video game story that if you just make the same story, they're going to go, "Well, I've already played the game." And if you veer off, you're going to go, "Well, that's not the story."
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because there's other little spin-offs. Just quickly, you got like there's a Silent Hill novel on like the DS.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You've got these other little side story ones on like handhelds, and then one thing I don't know if you knew about. There's actually a Silent Hill light gun arcade game.
Did I know that?
And it's set in during number 2.
That's an arcade game?
Yes, an arcade unit. It never got home release.
One we actually sit in. Is it one of those ones, or was it a standard one?
Well, you had a light gun and it had a big screen on it, a bit like Time Crisis sort
Yeah.
of thing.
It's weird when you do that because it kind of loses the kind of impact of you sitting in a room in a dark.
Yeah, you got all these noises around you.
Big neon gun.
Yeah, it was bizarre. I played it just to try it out, but yeah.
That's cool though. A bit of other news. Let's have a look. We've got this does sound very interesting to me actually.
I looked into this more because before you mentioned about it, when you were talking about it on stream, I was like, well, the MemCard Pro's been out for ages, but I didn't realise what this major update was.
So what is the because I didn't know anything about this because I obviously don't look at these things.
Yeah, so originally they brought out a memory card where you put an SD card in and you can have that one memory card that can store everything because you ain't locked down to an 8 meg card. You can literally put a 512 gig in there and you'll never need a memory card for the rest of your life kind of thing. And also it makes it more future proof because you can make backups of the SD card, things like that. And also if you've got a modded console, it when you load up a game, it goes in it goes in line with it, so it creates a separate memory card for that game.
Yeah.
But the reason why this is coming in the news is because now there's been a major new update, which is open source, where you can actually back up your games and put them onto the SD card and run them off of that.
Oh, okay.
As well as doing the other things. Because at the moment, if you wanted to play a backup of your game, you'd have to have a fat PS2, the big one, and you put the hard drive in the back. That's where you store the games. There was a way you could play games on a PS2 Slim. The problem is the USB port in it is only USB 1. So if you try and watch cutscenes, it's all jittery.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah. But because of this memory card, it runs the games off of the memory card slot, which is very fast.
Way more smooth.
So you can play the games perfectly on it.
I mean, that's a decent price, isn't it?
$50. It's very good because also it's open source and it's not just them on there. You can make backups of saves.
Yeah.
You can like even patch games with it and stuff that wasn't.
How easy is it to back up one of your games? Like an actual game?
There is software that basically you put the game in, and you click copy.
And how long?
And
how long it takes?
It could take. I don't know about that, but when I've done it to the when I've copied one of my games to the hard drive, it took about sort of 8-10 minutes.
That's not too bad, is it?
It's not like hours and hours or anything like that.
Like burning a CD or something.
Well, that's it. And also, if you want to preserve, and also it's great for preserving your laser in your PlayStation.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. That's one of the first things to go, isn't it?
Yeah, and then you're preserving, so you'll be able to play it on your original hardware, but you'll play another version.
Yeah.
I don't know about the loading of games, if that any faster or not. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, this is quite an exciting thing, and I'll be looking at getting one of these.
I love the idea of being able to go, because let's talk about the legal aspect of it. Like to be able to back up your games is incredible because then you can put the rest of them, store them away somewhere safely or whatever.
Yeah. you put them elsewhere, or if again, you don't want to use up the disc or cause any problems with
Because
it.
as much as we like physical, hardware and physical games and things, there is that convenience factor of like when a movie you're looking for is definitely on Netflix. You go, well, let's watch the Netflix
Yeah,
version.
I'm guilty of that as well.
I'm
For
very,
example,
go
me
on.
and Danny were watching Tremors, and I bought the box set 1 to 5 on DVD at charity shop for like a 50p or something, and then I went to put it on, and I don't know where I put the box set, and I went online, and I
It was
just
right there.
watched it there instead.
Yeah, I'm the
But I've
same.
got a physical copy
I've
in
got
case it wasn't there though.
I've got an amazing Blu-ray set of Star Trek: Next Generation. It's gorgeous, and it's one of my prized things I have. But it's on Netflix, and I'm going like, oh, I'll just play on Netflix. You know what I mean? Rather get the disc out. But it
But
doesn't
you
mean
got
it's gonna
that
be able to.
backup because if
Exactly.
it's not on there anymore,
Exactly.
you can go back to it.
I would rather have it as well as being able to watch it on the stream. That's the thing. It's the same with this. You'd rather have the PS2 games if you want to keep them and on there. If you
But
want.
I would highly recommend getting one if they're available because it covers all your saves files. Because I like collecting lots of memory cards, but then I'll go to load a game up because I don't put labels on them. I go, where's my save? So I'm going for about 5 memory cards, and this
I
is
think the
literally
biggest thing you've mentioned there, the biggest advantage, it saves you later because like
big time.
hardware is just like one of those things. The longer you keep it, the more times you use it, it's not going to get better. It's not a muscle.
And also, the version you're getting is from your copy.
Yeah.
And also, if it gets scratched or say you ain't got any, you know that you're getting a good version on there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But I highly recommend. Yeah, it's good.
A little bit different news. I was going to go back from something we didn't do last week, but I kind of want to touch on because some more physical stuff. I actually watched this. Weirdly enough.
Oh, did you watch it?
No, I watched it because it got recommended to me. Normally, so when you posted this,
that's
news,
how I got it. That's how I got it.
We must get recommended the same
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You can always tell that, when you watch a video or something on your stream, and then at the end it goes, "Oh, watch these." I was like, "Well, there's the same stuff I watch."
Yeah,
it's mad, isn't it? But this is like about. I mean, there's many videos like this about the last video shop in UK. A lot of them claim to be the last video shop in the UK. By the way,
yeah, that's the only thing. Yeah,
we've got one in Liverpool and Toxic, which I need to go down actually, have a chat with them.
That make good video.
Odyssey. Will make a good video. I'd love to go down there, and they're really good. Even during like COVID, they used to have, I can't remember what they called it, but they were giving out like video players with tapes. So for people who couldn't get out, and they basically tell get a little questionnaire from them and say what actors do you like, and they just fish out his like recommendations.
Oh, that's
with
awesome!
A video player. Isn't that cool?
Oh, I love that.
I just love that idea. It's just so nice, like a care package, for people who couldn't get out and stuff. But the thing is, with a lot of this physical media, what comes with it is like this community building aspect still.
Yes.
And you don't really get it with streaming and stuff. Like as much as we just want to talk about the convenience of it, but there's something about as soon as someone talks about like their local video shop, it's like you almost get starry eyes, don't you? And like this guy's been working there for years. It never makes sense to me, like why you would want to rent a thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like people do.
But it's a novelty. It's getting you to go out, and it's kind of creating a little scenario for yourself to get stuff, and obviously, like the excitement of going there to get it, and again, it's like when I get like the Laserdiscs or whatever. Yes, I can probably watch them online, watch them on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But when I put a big disc on, I have to turn it over. It's kind of the whole experience of it all.
That's it.
That's
exactly.
And the video and the sound for me, putting a video in and then it loading it in and playing it.
It's making the effort, isn't it? It's the same with like we talk about vinyl, putting a record on. It's the romanticism of like putting it on, having a listen. And I think sometimes when we watch a movie where it's just really convenient to do so, and we haven't made the effort to put it on, or even with listening to music, we just press play on a playlist. It sometimes becomes a passive experience because of that, because it was so passive it was effortless to actually play the thing, and then we have less effort to kind of like consume it.
You might start watching it and going, "Oh, I'm a bit bored now," and you turn it off.
Exactly. But like back in the day when we go to the likes of a video shop and we go there and we got to pick one movie, we will watch it because we've paid for it. We had the intent.
Even if you don't like it, you're going to watch it.
You would. Oh my god!
For it.
How I watched like a Kid and Play movie, which I was not a fan of, because the thing is, I don't know if you ever remember Kid and Play. Like this, you kind of like not rap duo, I guess, but from years ago, the comedians, but it was comedian rap and all that.
Okay.
Basically, we went with I remember because if you were going with someone else, so it was like Lindsay and a sister. with my wife and a sister,
Mm.
and we went to Blockbuster, and we were getting like a film each or something like that, and
Yeah.
you got to watch them that night. So everyone gets a choice, and then you have to sit through it. Like, it's not like now where you go, well, what movie do you want to watch? And you just end up scrolling because no one can decide.
Yep. You
You
spend about half
decide
an hour
in the
flicking through it
shop,
all.
and whatever you got and go home, you have to watch all three of them.
Yeah, tough. You
Or
can't
edit
go
them,
back
two
and
of them.
change it, can you?
No,
Yeah.
you can't take it. But like now, what happens with Netflix and stuff? You go, oh, let's see what's on, and you'll scroll all night,
Yeah.
endless scrolling, and or you'll start something and go, I don't like this. Let's put something else on. And by the end of the night, you've done nothing. You haven't done
We
anything.
should see the list of me and Danny's the watch list. Oh, I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
And I've got a massive list of films that we haven't got round to watching yet.
And it's mad because a lot of the stuff that's like on Netflix that has been made now. That's like we're already old, just sitting on the clouds and all that stuff. But it's terrible. You know, back in my day. But a lot of the movies that are being made for Netflix now are designed for you to do other stuff too. To like do your washing or like play a game. Because like, they'll have instances,
backgroundy type of thing,
backgroundy.
isn't
They'll
it?
have instances where the story gets retold to you constantly through the thing to update you to make sure you're getting the common threads of what's going on. It's like you're treating us like kids because they know we're doing
That's
something else in the
weird.
background. It's terrible.
don't-
It's terrible. We wouldn't get that with the old
Mm.
movie. I'm not saying the old movies are better or whatever. It's, you know, it's a preference and stuff.
Yeah.
But they are. They are better compared to stuff like that. But this video, like, it was nice. I've seen a lot of videos stuff like this. There was an essay that you posted. I actually watched all of the other day, and it was about streaming, and I can't remember what it was called. And it was about a guy who travels around talking to people in video shops. Do you remember you posted it on my Discord recently? It was like an hour-long essay. And
sorry. Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
that was very good. Like, it was very good. And it was
Oh,
basically
very
talking
good.
about like watching habits like have changed because of the streaming landscape.
Yeah.
And they basically interview the people who own actually not own, but run the last Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Play in Bend, wasn't it? They're on the news all the time, which was quite good. Every time like they do a video about this, they're in there. But I thought that documentary was really good. Even though I'm kind of decluttering, I'm in a place because I've got too much stuff. I've been saying this lately. I'm decluttering, so I still collect VHS and stuff like that. But I'm not going for everything. Like
That's why a rental place would be good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Just get
There
them.
you go. There you go.
Get them or donate them. You know. The reason I was looking at my collection, I don't know if you're like this because you weren't picking videos up. I remember, and I've said this on the stream the other day. I said, I remember I was saying I'm collecting videos, and you sent a picture and went, "Oh, Stay saw these videos. You want any?" And I was like, "Oh, Demolition."
Oh,
It was the specialist and all that. And I was like, "Oh, mind that." And then a week later, you were on your stream going, "I've picked up loads of videos."
No, that same
like,
shop
"Wait a
kept
minute."
getting more videos in.
Yeah, and that's what happens. And now you're like, oh, mind that, you know. And that's what happens. You get one, and suddenly you get 10. And I'm not
I'll blame
joking.
Julio. I blame Julio because he started collecting them.
Yeah, he started collecting them as well.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you think, I'll just have a few that I want. Honestly, mate, I had a cupboard. Well, actually, where this thing is here, right?
Yeah.
That was filled with DVDs, videos, but videos on the floor that went up like here. And I was like, where did they come from? Because I was buying them super cheap, but I was getting to the point where I'm like, I bought Titanic. And I'm like, when am I ever gonna feel like watching?
It was only 20p or something.
That film is depressing as hell. I hated it when I went to see it. So I mean, it was good, but I never want to see.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's just depressing. You never go. Oh, I'll watch that again. You know what I mean? Why would I watch that again? It's so depressing. So I'm never gonna feel. I was saying this to you there. I'm never gonna feel in the mood to I'll feel like watching Titanic. And that's never gonna happen. But two, go, I feel like watching it on VHS.
Yeah, again, the extra effort of putting that on. Actually, is it on 2 videos?
No, it's only on one. It's only on one.
Oh,
no.
I think in America it come out on 2 videos.
Yeah, it did actually.
One movie, and I never knew why.
I wonder if it's something to do with like the
speed of the tape.
The speed of the tape. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my rationality when I see a film, I picked up like Terminator 2. I have it on Laserdisc. But I bought it thinking, I know, maybe like Julio or someone else might want it, and I'm trying to justify it by thinking if I don't want it, they might want to have it.
I've left this on Undecent Proposal, by the way. I don't know why he's clicking that.
Yeah,
it's my favorite movie. I think he talks about like these were like the popular ones that people come in and get.
Yeah, they're the ones that come in quite a lot for.
Point Break and things like that. Here we go. Point Break. That's better to hold up.
Well, this video shop, just briefly, while you got it still on the screen, it's me and Danny are going to try and see if we can drive to there
Oh,
because it's
nice.
not massively out of the way.
Yeah.
So we might try and go and get a membership and try and
Oh, that's a good idea.
film
Yeah,
it or something and
that's
try it out.
nice. Get some
Yeah,
photos and stuff like that in there because, like, I mean, the walls look great. But
but yeah,
for VHS for
videos.
me, I am only collecting 80s stuff.
Yeah,
Like literally, I've got like a little mini desk thing, TV unit over there, and it's just got loads of 80s stuff,
yeah.
like some movies, kids stuff from that time, and that's the rule in my head. So I've got like Terminator and the
But still,
Howling.
there was a lot of 80s
I know.
films and
This
videos.
is what Lindsay was laughing when I was saying about like I'm only collecting toys from the 80s. You went, that's a decade, you know.
Yeah, that's not like it's not like a few years. You're not doing like a
I
2 year
find it so
segment.
hard to do that though. Like if I'm going out, I'm supposed to be going out tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm hoping it will. And I'm like, okay, I'm only going to look for Ghostbuster toys. And then I start going, but if they have Star Wars, I'll have a look at that. And if they have, or if they've got masks, of course, and
Oh,
Motu, obviously. And then
wow.
suddenly, like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? You've got to have this. And this is the problem we have as collectors, not hoarders, collectors.
No, collectors.
You've got
No,
to
that's a
have
horrible
like,
word.
you've got to kind of single out all the things you want. Otherwise, you're never going to get a full collection or something. And you're just going to
Yeah.
have this. It's just going to look random. You know what I mean?
But
I'm looking at all your plushies at the back and seeing Ed the Duck and Knuckles.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. I actually got
This
him
is
in
so
a charity
random.
shop.
I know. I'm so jealous. I want an Ed the Duck, and I want a golden. I did my video show that there was a
I
golden.
want to go and go for.
So I had one of them as a kid. I used to bring it to school stupidly and do
Oh,
voices and stuff like that. Like you know what I'm like. I was an idiot then. But yeah, I thought this was amazing. But I'm gonna talk about a little bit of sad news now. To end
no.
or news bit is the passing of John Erwin.
Oh yes, yes.
I normally I don't like to talk about like
Mm.
celebrities pass away. You know, I'll talk about the birthdays, whatever. But it's such a big thing for me, and
That's
it makes you realize that like these people and their voices, and are just a massive part of our lives. You know, a huge
yeah.
part of our lives. If you know John Erwin, the voice of He-Man from the original series, and it just made me realize, wow, like when you're confronted by these things, like, you know, the people who were voiced, like,
Mhm.
I guess, like, imagine the voices of Transformers and the Thundercats and
Yeah.
or Turtles and all these
Well,
people don't
because when you're
exist anymore.
younger, you take all the voices for granted. You
You
just
do,
expect the voices. It's when you're older, you suddenly you appreciate them more, and you actually get to see. You find out the person's name, what they look like. Because as a
yeah,
kid, you just hear it as a voice, that character, and you go, "Oh, it's that person." But
yeah. You
you
don't
don't know
realize it's
more
a
than
human
that.
being, do you? You hear
Yeah,
that voice,
yeah.
it resonates you in a kind of emotional way because of all
Mm,
the nostalgia that's attached to it. So when like the kind of the realism of like that person behind that character's voice is
yeah.
passed away. God, it hit me quite hard, but in a way of like, God, I need to celebrate this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I need to talk about
You've
because
done it the best way
I
on your
did it on
stream.
my stream. I did a little pop up with the little things from what he says. But I've always seen like the He-Man as a kind of like one of those like father figures, and like all of the, you know, the morals they'd have at the end of the
Yeah.
cartoon, and all that. A lot of them have to adopt because they couldn't be seen as just adverts for toys. But when you're a kid, you don't know that. You just hear all these things and you think, oh wow. So I just wanted to kind of end the news with saying like, wow, like what a legend John Erwin was. He was kind of
Yeah.
reclusive at the end. Like he didn't really do interviews or anything like that. A lot
Oh,
of the other
really?
cast do.
Yeah.
Alan Oppenheimer, who voiced Skeletor, does a lot of the conventions, and he was
Yes.
also voice of Falcor and Never End the Story. You know, you probably heard his voice a million times.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, it's what a legend, what a voice. It's like you think of it, that was probably the first proper cartoon of the 80s to sell toys. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah, that's
biggest
the one for
cartoon.
me. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
think because, like, obviously Star Wars came before it, but like if Star Wars was a movie, but the
Yeah.
first cartoon to sell toys, it was like the
Yeah.
cartoon literally was made to sell toys, and then all the other
Yeah.
cartoons came after it to do the same job. But it did an amazing job of doing that. You
But
know,
end of the day as well, like it is as I said on your post, I think I said that like his legend will forever live on
yeah,
through nostalgia from people looking up old episodes on YouTube, having the DVDs and all that sort of stuff.
yeah, it's
Even
true.
you know, he's never truly gone because you always got that comfort of coming back to it.
I
You
often
know.
think of that because it's like, the passing of David Bowie was a big one for me. But when I
Yeah.
listen to the music, and it's the same with like anything really, like John Lennon or someone. You listen to the music, or you watch one of the old cartoons, He-Man cartoons, and these people still exist. It's like magic, isn't it? We can go back
Yeah,
and watch
and you don't
these.
feel sad
No.
that they're not around. You're happy to hear them. I'm the same with Rick Mail. Whenever I watch episodes of
God, yeah.
Bottom or any of his films, that one for me, that one hit me really hard when he passed away. But
Yeah,
I
legend.
still watch episodes of Bottom and still laugh at
Yeah.
it. Really laugh at all the stuff he's ever done. Me and Daddy both still watch it. Even after that,
Exactly. And you
happens,
still, it's a way of celebrating that they,
yeah.
their life rather than mourning it. That's one of the things.
Yes,
When
yeah, that's it. Yeah,
I always think of that when someone passes, it's like it's a good chance to kind of celebrate who they were, and rather than like be sad about it. It's obviously sad, but it's a chance to celebrate like that they exist. You were around at the same time or whatever, But
yeah,
it's like, but you're right. You can still go back and watch those series, and
you can still watch them back and that, and just enjoy them and that. And
what a legend. We're going to go from that to this episode's A Boy and His Blurb. Do you remember this? We did this last time.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, I remember that. Right.
Because Pastor Plunger here is an exceptional well of knowledge when it comes to video games. I'm going to read the back of a video game.
Quickly grab a game.
Admitting some. No, what's that? Is that what game is that? I was saying
Spyro
Spyro 2. And I'm going to read the blurb on the back, omitting some of the words that would give this away, and he's going to guess what this video game is, right? I'm not going to do a time. I'm just going to do it until you guess it.
But, oh no!
But if you guess this, please let me know in the comments down below if you get it before Plunger, right? Okay, here we go. Experience the ultimate evil or heroism at its best in this game. Give in to all that evil, and it will grant you on your quest to rule the world as somebody, or fight as somebody to save your son, somebody, and thwart the somebody's plans to rule the world. The something awaits in the game that delivers two adventures in one.
It started out like, I think I knew what it was, and then you did the other part, and then it sort of trailing off. I was thinking of Soul Reaver on PlayStation, but I doubt.
I think like you're allowed to ask a question, like and I'll give you a clues. Maybe you're 5, and I'll go.
Okay.
You can tell me what if you say what console's in, and I'll go. Okay, I'll tell you what it is, and I'll take one off the hand.
Right. Yeah. What console is it on?
It's on PS2, PlayStation 2. You thought it was going to be like an earlier game, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I keep thinking it's going to be like a SNES or a Mega Drive stuff, and you're doing that. God, what is modern stuff? So you changed, man.
I know, completely. I'm going to get rid of this as well. Doesn't look good. That's a bit of a clue. It might be good. It's a PlayStation 2. Oh yeah, I play this all week. I've been playing before the podcast. So it's one of the best games ever made. Okay, come on. You want another clue?
Yeah.
Because it's probably good for you to ask the good clues, and you only get 5 clues. Go on, ask another question.
Does it got any sequels?
Oh. Okay.
That's a bad one, eh?
In a sense, it does.
Oh no, it's more confusing.
Okay, but I don't know. Okay, I'm going to give you a really good clue here. Okay. I don't know gaming-wise if it got sequels, but definitely in the cinema it did. There you go.
Oh.
I wonder if anyone's crying out at this moment going, what is it? What is it? Yeah. So what does that mean? If it got sequels in the cinema, what does that mean?
What does that in the cinema?
What does that mean about this game?
It didn't do very well. Yeah, it did well, but not.
Or it was based on a movie. So what does that mean? What does that mean? What do you think? Do you think it was based on a movie?
Is it based on a movie?
There you go. Yeah. So that was that clue. Still, that's the second clue.
Okay. The sad thing is, when I look up my PS2 collection, all I can see, because I've only got a couple of games there, games based on movies and stuff. I've got Shrek 2 and Bad Boys 2 sitting up there. I need to ignore those ones.
Well, it's kind of on the same lines, I guess, but it's not those. Okay, it is a 2. I will say it's a 2. Well, I'm going to give you that one for free. It's a number 2 of a movie.
Number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is because the name of it hasn't got the 2 in it, but it's got like that kind of idea, right? Do you want to give me another question for you? And let me know if you want me to read it out again. Since you've got all these clues, it might put it together now.
Yeah, read it out again. Gives me more time to think.
Experience the ultimate evil or heroism at its best in this game. Give in to all that evil will grant. That is weird. Give in to all that evil will grant you on your quest to rule the world. It's weird. As somebody, or fight as somebody to save your son, somebody, and thwart the somebody's plans to rule the world. The somebody awaits in this game that delivers 2 adventures in one. It is just a bunch of words, isn't it?
It just sounds like so many things.
Right, I will tell you I'll give you a couple of names, and they're right.
Okay.
Or fight as Rick to save your son, Alex. So somebody in the movie and in game is called Rick and has got a son called Alex. Any ideas? Go on, ask me another question. I think we must have another question. We only got 2 clues. I'm giving you loads for free. Right, I'll close your eyes. I'm going to show people at home what this is.
Okay,
right?
I'm literally going to my eyes. I'm literally going to my eyes.
Put your hands over them as well.
Okay, look,
All right, we go.
covered.
For the people at home, this is the game. Okay, this is a good idea, isn't it? I'm going to put the game down now. Okay, go on.
Right, yeah. Okay,
go on. I should do that at the start. I think that's a good idea, and people can choose to look or not.
I don't know anybody called Alex in a game.
I forget the Alex, but you won't remember that. You might remember Rick.
Rick.
Alex is like a kid, and you won't remember the kid, but you remember the main guy. This is the sequel. Remember, the first one didn't have a kid.
Oh, it's going to be so obvious as well when I say it.
Don't think it. I think the easiest way to do this is don't think about games. Think about movies.
Okay.
Right. Give me a clue. Ask a question about it. It's a sequel to a movie, but it was also a movie, obviously.
Was it like 18 rated, or was it a?
No, I think it was like
young
family.
Right. A family one.
Yeah. I'm just going to give you clues because you're struggling. You're really struggling.
Getting bored now.
It was the first one. I mean, the whole thing is basically remake of kind of like Universal Monsters, that type of thing, I guess. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Universal Monsters. So like, it's one of the. Oh God, this is such a massive clue. That's going to give you this. I've basically given you the answer. That's a massive clue. That's a massive clue. Name one of the Universal Monsters.
Right, well, yeah, Frankenstein.
Yeah, because one of them. Go on. Keep going. Keep going. One of the classic monsters. Come on.
Well,
you're looking at the side of the couch. You got on there.
I don't know what I'm looking. I'm just looking around. I don't know why. Here.
Name a monster.
No
silly answers. Go on. Classic monsters.
Well, no. What's the Wolfman?
That's a good answer, but it's not that. That's definitely one of the Universal
ones. All the
ones
I could have chosen.
Yeah, that's good. Go on. What are the other ones? One that had a big movie. A couple of movies.
Dracula.
No, not that one. Good one though. That's a good one. One starring a guy called Rick. 90s movie. I think 90s or 2000s. I can't remember actually. It's probably a year on this, but I can't read it.
It's not the.
Oh, it looks like you had it then. I felt like you read your mind.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
No.
Game. That had all the monsters in it. Had all the monsters in it.
No, it's not that.
Bad movie and.
Yeah. Name another monster.
Sean Connery.
Name another monster. You've got Dracula. You've had Frankenstein. You've had, I don't know, what else do you have? Wolfman. It's gonna be the last one. The only one that had a massive. Well, I'd say Dracula's movies. But the one that had a big, massive, successful set of movies. The first two. I don't know what year it was. Like maybe it was 99 or 2001. Says on this game for this is the
Oh, it's
sequel.
quite a new one. That's quite new.
It's quite newish for me anyway.
Yeah.
Classic Universal monster action movie. Oh god, I'm gonna give you a massive clue, but I don't want to give you a massive clue. And can you just name a monster?
I don't even think of any.
I've put you on the spot. It's one of those things, isn't it? Where I put you on the spot and you can't think of the simplest thing. So you got Dracula.
Name your favourite film straight away.
Okay, think of the Monster Squad. What monsters in the Monster Squad?
All I keep thinking of is Dracula.
You got Dracula,
the Wolfman.
Yeah, Wolfman.
Wolfman. Is it Monster from the Blue Lagoon?
Yeah.
Thing.
What's the other one? There's another one.
And we did the Frankenstein already. It's not. It's not No, it's not Helsing. Is it? Because there's a game of that.
Van Helsing, no.
But
no.
yeah.
Van Helsing's the Dracula.
I like how disappointed your face is whenever I say
you got it. I feel like you're right near it. I feel like I'm trying to transmit these. Okay.
Yeah.
Massive clue. If you give it a massive clue, okay, I'll give you. I've got two massive clues. One of them's like you lead up to the other one. Do you want it? Right.
Yeah.
If I say sand.
No. Sand. I keep thinking the Sandman, but it's got
what else is where sand is? Where'd you get load of sand? Don't say the sandpit.
The Mummy.
Yes.
The Mummy. Is it Mummy Returns?
Yes, it's the Mummy Returns. The Mummy Returns.
You know what? I didn't know it even had a game on PlayStation 2. I didn't even know it even existed.
Do you know what the next clue was going to be? Not Daddy.
Not dead. Oh. And I'm like, hey?
You would have replied with chips.
Yeah. Daddy sauce, what? I didn't even know that even had a game.
Yeah. I've not played it, I'll be honest. I'll read out the whole thing now. It says, experience the ultimate evil or heroism at its best in The Mummy Returns. Give in to all that evil will grant you... It doesn't make so sense, that sentence. On your quest to rule the world as Imhotep. Or fight as Rick to save his son Alex and thwart the mummy's plans to rule the world. Here's the bit. The Scorpion King awaits in this game that
would have got it from Scorpion King instantly.
The Scorpion, look at the rock. He looks exactly as he does in the movie.
Yeah. What if I did come out and say, is it the Scorpion King game? What do you
do? Is there an actual Scorpion King game?
Yeah, there is.
How do you know that, but not know that?
I don't know about that one for some reason. I've never seen that ever.
But you know the Scorpion King game and that one?
And I kept thinking, even though it had nothing to do with the monsters, I kept thinking of King Kong.
Oh, that was supposed to be quite good, wasn't it? Actually, I did play that actually. This King Kong was actually a decent game for one.
Really good game on PS2.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And a couple others, yeah.
I think it was on GameCube. I played a bit of it years ago. Well, really back in the day.
Well, one thing though is, when's it happen the other way? When do I get to do one for you?
So we're going to ask some questions, answer some questions from the. The thing is, it makes
so far I'm 0 for 2 at the moment.
You're going to get the next one.
Going.
I'll have to make it easier.
Too modern. You're too modern.
That's too modern. I'll go for an older one next time. Which game features a centipede that shoots?
You got some invaders in.
Okay, questions. Right. From Rain Cloud, what console intro makes you stop and stare in awe like a deer in headlights? This is such a good question. And what games did you hear it the most growing up? Do you know what? You know it by the first thing that comes to your mind. What's the first one that comes to your mind?
Well, for me, the thing that blew my mind, and I wanted to get it straight away. You probably won't get this one, but Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh.
No, not that one. Yeah, no. Scorpion King. Final Fantasy VIII, because I remember getting a demo disc that had the intro, just the intro.
Oh wow.
Number and I played a bit of 7. I didn't get that far in it, but I still really enjoyed it. But
the demo only had the intro.
And this demo disc just showed a preview, and it was just purely the intro to the game.
Wow.
And I saw the intro, and it's a bit with Squall and this other guy, I can't remember his name now, fighting, and it looked incredible.
Oh, wow.
And I was like,
That's
I
cool.
need that game. I actually ended up buying, and I've still got it. I actually got it right next to me. It's the oh god. It's I actually bought an American copy on purpose. because
Wow, that's cool.
CEX at the time used to sell import games,
Mm,
and this wasn't available in the UK yet. And because my PlayStation was chipped at the time, it could play it. So this is my American version I bought from that shop
nice.
when it was brand new,
Great
and I
condition.
literally bought it because of that intro. And
Nice.
I've played about like 2 hours of it.
They're massive games, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's one of those games I keep thinking, well,
Uh,
7. You know, when talking earlier about games that I've never got around to playing. I
yeah.
need to do 7 at some point. I just don't know
You,
how the hell I'm ever
honestly, you
going to
should,
slot it in.
but you need a lot of time though.
It's like I actually looked it up
Lot of time.
recently at how long to beat, and it was like
Mm.
39 hours or something stupid like that.
If you do it quick.
Yeah, and that's like people who
Yeah.
play it. Yeah, so it take ages.
But yeah,
So
that's the one that always goes to my mind
the
anyway.
first
But
one that came to mind is Turtles on a NES. You know when it comes up with
oh,
all the
yeah.
turtle profiles. Oh,
Yes.
I love
And the
that.
beam out the sewer bit and
Oh
all that
god,
lot.
so good. And it's got that music goes dum 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 dum. Oh, so
Yeah.
good. The soundtrack on that is incredible as well. So I love that. Oh,
Well, it's
Tom,
one of the things,
come
if you saw it, you want to play it. You'd
It's
be like, oh,
instantly.
I
It's
need to
one
give that
that
a go.
if you were demoing it, like if you were like if you were a game fair and you want to sell games and you got
Yeah.
a TV there to demo it or something like that, I'll just put that on because it's such a good
Yeah, the
intro.
rolling demo type
That's
thing. And
it.
it's, yeah,
Oh,
that would definitely have done that.
I love that game. That game's tough, but it was like the first NES game I actually owned because I got the Turtles pack. So that
Oh,
one's been
yeah.
burned
Oh,
into
I
me.
love, yeah, I love
I
that
love
one.
that.
The
Do you
cover
know
on
it's
it.
just a sleeve that goes over the original box? It's so
Is
annoying.
it? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I thought it was his own box.
No, it was a
That's
sleeve.
interesting. I never knew
I
that.
wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind getting that because you always want the stuff you had as kids, and I would
Yeah.
still want to get that.
Yeah.
You know, just to display somewhere. Okay, that was a really good question.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, but that's why straight away. Fun fact. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great one. Next question is from a gamer Sam. If you had to choose only one handheld, excluding the Switch, being a
Oh.
hybrid console, what would you choose? That's stuff. I've read my mind into when I say Switch nowadays.
Oh yeah. If you, well, I would say
You don't have to say Analog Pocket because you're going to say that, aren't you?
well, you could do it. No, I was going to say the 3DS because
Oh, I was going to say that. Yeah.
because really it's got exclusive games on it. It's got 3D and normal. The only problem is you wouldn't be able to enjoy the 3D, but if it was like hybrid way. But I mean, you can almost do it hybrid if you have it modded anyway and play it on the screen. And some of the games I would love to play it on a bigger screen because I feel it would be quite nice to be bigger.
Yeah.
But that, I think it would be that. But then you also could say that with a PSP as well, which you can do that with. But yeah, 3DS for me at the moment.
I think 3DS. I think I agree with the 3DS. After play, I mean, I said I want to collect all original Game Boys, but after playing it recently and not being in love with the screen, and my older eyes are not in love with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to. You know, I've said it before. I want to kind of mess around with the screens, but yeah, a 3DS just instantly looks brilliant. So something like that, I think.
You can imagine like putting it in a type of dock and it come on the big screen, and then also because you can like, well, the DS games, not 3DS for example, but on the Wii U, when you had DS games on there, you can change the format of how it looks on the TV. So you could have a small version of the touch screen and the big one, the top screen, or split screen and have big screens either side. So you could do loads of formats with it.
Two TVs. Okay.
Yeah.
Recon Row asks, are there any games that you invested a lot of time and or money into that are now completely inaccessible? Oh, this is a good question. This is probably maybe like online games, you know, that how the servers have gone down. I don't know about
not
money.
really investing that amount of money,
A lot of time.
but definitely with time. Yeah, I played a lot of Unreal Tournament 2K4.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Is it? I think it's 2K4 it was. That one, we played a lot of that. We got some modded maps and stuff on there. We played a lot of that sort of thing. It is still kind of accessible, but not in the same way because the inaccessible part of it is hardly anyone's playing it. So you're not really jumping on a server full of people.
Yeah. That's why, you know, people complain about like, you know, Microsoft or whatever, whoever's in control of these servers. You should have them up forever, but it's kind of like money wasted, isn't it? Like where like there's no one playing the games at some point. Yeah, you should play these games when they're popular because like who's
because if you're not, if there's already anyone on it, you ain't gonna really bother. It's no point.
It's not really money as well. It's about like having a team because a team's got to be dedicated to kind of keeping that up where they could be used elsewhere.
Get rid of exploits and stuff, and people like get hacked for it and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of, not really necessarily me, but just other one quickly, is that Quite recently, they've closed down the Simpsons Tapped Out game.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did do that.
After 13 years, I think it was.
That's
And
sad,
I
mate.
remember the guy at my work where I used to do IT, he was addicted to it. I got into it after he showed me it. I didn't spend no money because I'm too tight. I would just wait for things to happen.
Yeah.
But there was times that you couldn't get a certain character from Simpsons without putting money in. It's impossible without it. That's why it deploys. But he spent a lot of money on it. He must have spent hundreds.
It's a virtual addiction, isn't it? I get
Yeah,
it.
he was addicted to it, and he admitted it. He weren't like, oh, I'm not. No, he knew he was.
Yeah, put loads of
but
money
he
in.
loved it, and it's the only thing he played. And he spent so much money, and I don't know if he still was playing it after that. But after 12 years, if he still continued to play it, that's gone forever. You can't even just jump on just to see your old city. It will not load.
Oh,
So
that's terrible,
that's
isn't
quite
it?
bit, and that was quite good
There's
for
a
one
lot
of
of
them.
those type of games as well. There's like the
games.
Jurassic Park builders, Farmville. I wonder if like people used to put money into Farmville. I don't know if it was just a time investment thing.
No, there probably was. There's always things to buy. It's the same with Plant vs Zombie on Facebook. Do you remember when Facebook Games
Oh
had
my
stuff?
God, I used to be obsessed with that though.
Yeah, me too.
I think I
Yeah.
played. I think I had it on my phone. Maybe. Like I love that game. That was like, what would you call that? It's not RTS, is it? Is that what you would call that kind of genre?
It was a castle defense game or a defense game.
Tower defense. That's it.
Tower
Tower defense. Yeah.
Tower defense.
Oh, I
That's it,
love
yeah.
that game so much. I put so many hours. I never bought any. I never played. I don't think I played the Facebook version. No, I played like a downloadable version somewhere.
The original version is like you got the panels and you put the plants down and all that lot.
That's the one I played.
In the Facebook one, it was 3D.
Oh, I didn't play that one.
And it had a bit more, and it was really good.
Yeah.
But then they took the mickey with bit cheaty with like how quick zombies come out, and you couldn't do it if you spent more money.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's when that started happening.
The OG
that was when
version is what I got into.
That.
Good question though.
Yeah.
Steve Marty asks, "What is your favorite Mario costume, e.g., frog, cat, or tanuki, etc.?"
Oh yeah.
God, good question. I've never thought about it really. Classic fireball's always good for defense, isn't it? You know, or offense.
Yeah, you always feel safe with that because you can be doing it from a distance every time, isn't it?
Although, like the cape in Mario World is so good, just like this flick your cape and it's just straight up a close weapon, isn't it?
I liked it, but I could never quite get the flying bit right. And it always made me nervous.
I can't. I'm really good. Well, I used to be really good at flying in Mario World, but my word, flying in Mario 64, no idea. As soon as I get it,
I'm clueless with that as well.
No idea.
Yeah.
Bad at that. But probably the cape in Mario World for me. But I did used to love the what's the suit that can turn you into stone in
in Odyssey.
No. In Mario 3. The one that you suddenly become like a monument.
Oh, a statue. You turned into
what's that called?
Statue, didn't you?
Yeah, I can't remember what that suit it's called. I used to love that for some reason. It was a kind of weird oddity.
But then you couldn't move though. You put into it and you just.
I don't think you could. You can't move. No, I don't think you move. No,
so
it's a bit.
What's so good about it?
I kind of liked it. All right, don't get at me.
what was the benefit of it? Because I remember using it and going, "Oh, I'm now."
I just thought it was because you obviously don't get hit when someone's going past you. All right, it's not that good. Does the boot count in Mario? It doesn't. I used to love getting in the boot and running around with that. I love that. It doesn't count, does it? I love that boot.
I'm trying to think like maybe some of the newer stuff as well.
The cat and all that. Oh, I love the frog suit in Mario 3. I mean, it's all Mario. It's all 2D Mario for me, isn't it? It's like, what stuff I love. I can't really remember.
I'm trying to think of like. I thought you'd be a fan of the old rabbit ears since you love Maryland 2 now.
Oh, that was I got into that. I got it. At first of all, I was like, and I was like, oh, what's this? But then I got into it. But it's kind of simple, isn't it? It's just kind of like you float around a bit. But I like that. Yeah. That was a good kind of, and it was good for the boss at the end, actually.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be boring and say the fireball because anytime I play a game, I'd always instantly go to the fireball because I know I could always do it from, especially like help me complete like lost levels. Without the fireball, I couldn't have completed a game without it.
I'm going to go for the cape because it was a good defense thing. We could just spin around and then it wasn't really touch you. Yeah. And you can also fly. It's so good. Okay, another question. UK Retro Gamer asked, do you ever replace the same game batteries in retro game carts? We talked about this quite a bit, actually, about doing that.
Yeah, well, you've recently started getting into
Yeah,
doing
got
it.
into it.
I've changed some in some Mega Drive cartridges,
Nice.
Game Boy Advance. Yeah, I've only really did it when I know the battery's definitely dead. I'm weird about it. If the battery's still working, I should mindset right, change it anyway because
Yeah.
it's gonna probably be old and it's been. But then I don't because it works. I'm like, oh, that's fine. I'll leave it like that.
Yeah.
But
You
when you
just
load it up and
it's
it's
ticking
not
time
there,
bomb, isn't it?
that's when I do it. That's it. That's the problem.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the way for
Okay, this is
me.
a good
I do.
question. From Skyfox Gemini asks, if you could Ready Player One yourself into any video game, what would it be?
Because I always think of the dangers in the worlds, and
I
like,
know.
do I
You
want
go
something more
because you're like, yeah,
relaxing?
I'm gonna go into this. I'm going to Metroid. It's great, and then suddenly just someone pushes you into lava and you're dead. And you're like, oh,
Yeah, and Metroid, you got all these scary aliens coming after you. It's
yeah.
like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go to Resident
So
Evil."
there's like
So
this.
there's no.
I love Shadowrun. I love that world, that cyberpunk kind of digital
Yeah.
cyberpunk world, and I think it's cool and it's kind of got a Blade Runner feel to it, and I love that
Oh,
world.
yeah.
But I'd probably die of malnutrition because there's be nothing to eat, and I'd have no money, and like you have to buy a gun to shoot people in windows, and I feel like I love playing that as like a voyeur controlling the guy.
Yeah.
But when you are the guy, things would be different. I don't think
You
I'd
think
do any of
differently.
those action things. You'd be sitting there going, "Oh, I don't know what to do." You know what I mean?
I guess Ori in the Blind Forest. I think it's a beautiful looking world, but then there's so many
If you
terrifying things in there.
Also, if you were in Ori the Blind Forest, would you be able to jump like anywhere? You'd be sitting on the bottom and go, "Well, I guess I just sit
Oh,
here forever."
well,
Then you don't
yeah,
get
but
the
then you're
powers.
saying we've got powers, we don't have powers. If we don't have powers, it's just
No,
us.
and it's just
Oh,
us.
I'll just go in the corner and be like this.
Yeah, exactly. And Ori's just like going off, and you're just like you can't reach any of the things. You got none of the powers. You're
Oh, I
just
know.
sitting off.
I've got a good one.
Go on.
Right, how about The Sims? You can build a nice. You got that big
Okay, you're in
house.
control of
But don't know if
yourself
it's
in The
going to
Sims.
kill
Okay, you're
you.
not being controlled.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be, Sims is a good one
And then
actually, unless someone puts you in a house with no windows or doors, and then
yeah,
you
lock you in there.
you literally just like let me out.
Yeah, but then I'm hoping the person who controls me is it can't be bothered to do it properly and puts up infinite money cheat and
Oh,
give
that'll
me
be
all the
quite good.
best
Give you loads
stuff.
of money, and you can go,
Yeah, that'd be
You might
better.
get bored though. It'd be like what's that Ryan Reynolds movie? It feels like a bit like that, wouldn't it? A Free Guy. Have you ever
Oh
watched
yeah,
that?
Free Guy. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
It'd be like
Yeah.
that. I didn't mind that film actually. I thought it was alright. It was better than what I thought it would be. It was good fun actually.
Yeah.
For some because I thought they wouldn't understand video games and being like that, but it was quite fun. But yeah, I think that'll be like that. Yeah, but I think you're on the right lines. You got to pick something that when you go in there, even though it's not your favorite game or experience, or whatever, it's gonna be something that it'd look after you. You know, like
Yeah. Something to help you out. Yeah, with it
I
because
can't because
you could
everything
say
we like
something like
is
Streets of Rage 2. I would say that would be cool, but I don't have to fight. But
no.
these people want to
Oh,
fight
go
you.
on
These
Resident
people with
Evil.
knives
No,
coming at you.
you don't want Resident. It reminds me. Did you ever see that film Waxwork? Or
Yes.
Waxworks. It's like they only go into all the different dioramas of all like the mummy area and all that, and then
Yeah.
suddenly and they go in and they get killed. It's like this is what I like with video games. As soon as you think it's gonna be great, go into Resident Evil. Oh look at that, we can be with them, and the zombie will just eat you straight away because you don't know what to do. You'd be so scared.
And you got the Mario world as well. You got all their things terrifying. Big
A
piranha
Goomba
plants
in real
in you.
life would be terrifying, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Coming
a
towards you.
massive giant one coming towards you, just hovering, and it's not talking. It's just looking at you and walking
Coming at
towards
you.
you.
And because when you're playing a game, you can't hear it, but it's got that.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell?
And you have to
Help! Help!
and the last thing you'd think of, oh, let's jump on it.
Yeah.
Would you? You'd be like,
In Mario, nothing helps you. Nothing. There's no princess or toad or anything like that coming and going, hey Mario! You got to hit blocks, like, and hit them and get a mushroom. But there's no one
Yeah.
around to help you. You got to jump over everything. Everything's there to kill you.
yeah, and you don't know what. Yeah, what?
Why
weird
would you want to
things
be in
have
that
try
world?
and eat. That's awful, isn't it?
Exactly. So no Skyfox. Worst question ever.
No,
Come on.
ridiculous.
The gall if you to ask that question.
Yeah. I would like to know what he would choose.
I would like to.
That
Yeah, we'll
one.
say. Right, last question. We'll ask Faye. Let's have a look. There's so many questions that if
There's quite a lot in there. Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one because of what we do with streamers as well. If streaming didn't exist, what would you be doing right now in this place? I mean, it's a good question to ask. Like, if you weren't a streamer, what would you do? What would you do? Would you just play games and watch other people stream?
I'd probably just be I'd be watching YouTube and playing games on my own. I'd probably be playing them. I'd probably still have this setup in this room.
Same.
Wasn't made for streaming. this was all our stuff. We wanted a location. The streaming was second.
Yeah.
It was just we had this room for all our stuff to play all our nostalgic games. So really, I'd still be sitting here just without a camera and look like I'm talking to myself. You know,
You're weird. It's all yourself. Like I don't even exist. That's what's happening right now. You just talk to yourself. I'm not even here.
Yeah.
Danny's at the door like that, shaking her head, going.
Yeah, that's where she's left me. She ain't come up and said hello or anything.
We've got to get him some help.
Oh dear, I can get the heart to tell him.
But I think, I'm saying really, I would focus on YouTube. That's it. I'd be a 100% YouTuber, where I'm kind of 50% Twitch streamer, 50% YouTuber right now. That's what I'm trying to get that balance anyway. So I'd just be 100% committed to YouTube.
I would like to have done it, but then if I didn't know people from streaming, I wouldn't have looked into stuff going forward. So
exactly, you get influenced, inspired from everyone, don't you?
Yeah.
You see other people do it, and you go, "Oh, I fancy doing that." That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah. Good question. Very good question. Anyway, thank you so much. Hey, we have 2 hours. That's good.
Cut it down again.
Thank you so much, everyone who's watched or listened to this. Please leave a comment down below, any questions for next time, or just generally about the podcast. And you can do it here or on the Spotify one. I'm not going to mention I don't read the Spotify comments because no one makes them now because of that reason. But if you put comments down below, we'll definitely answer them. But next one is going to be 13, episode 13.
Is that we've got to do something special for that?
We're just going to go, ooh.
I'm going to ooh.
Like we did in the Halloween one.
Yeah,
ooh, 13.
We can only talk about things with a number 13 in it?
Yes, so see you later next time, everybody. Bye. Bye. Bye.